this document. I'm downloading now and
Great.
getting prepared for
Great,
this.
dear.
Yes. Where is it?
Astara, you are already co-host now. Sarita
Yes.
ma'am, please let me know. Hi, Christiana. Thank you very much. Please check your mic, dear. Christiana is one of our mentors from the land of Croatia. Thank you very much, dear Christiana.
Good morning to all. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Good morning, dear. Good
And,
morning.
you see here. Not open. Okay.
So we have the live streaming on YouTube, and I am pasting the link on YouTube on a chat box.
Okay.
In the chat box, I have already shared the live link.
May I send it to my students?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Sarita ma'am, I am making you a co-host. So whatever person you want to be a co-host, please make it, ma'am. So, ma'am, could we start or we should wait?
Just a minute. Sir? Tarun sir? Bhandari sir, can we start?
Yes, you can start.
Yes, ma'am, you can start. We can start.
Okay, everybody is
fine.
ready.
Okay, fine. So, yes, ma'am, we can start.
Okay, so before going to start the official ceremony, I would like to request all of you, if possible, please switch on your camera because our esteemed guests are going to give their inaugural addresses. So if possible, please switch on your camera. Okay. Hello, Smiley Mukta Ghoshal. Thank you very much for joining us from the land of USA. Smiley ma'am, please check your mic.
Yes. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Smiley ma'am,
Yes,
good morning.
perfectly all right.
Hi, how are
Perfectly all
you?
And I'm Dr. Sarita Rana. You are the one who are our honorable guests from abroad.
Thank you very
From
much.
USA,
Thank you.
right, ma'am.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So can we
Okay,
start
ma'am.
now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Yes, ma'am. Sure,
So,
ma'am. Sure.
very good morning to everyone. Very good morning to all dignitaries from here, from abroad, all my dear students, all the delegates. Welcome to the Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit, where we converge to address one of the most pressing challenge of our time, reducing inequality. As we embark on this journey, it is crucial to recognize the profound implication of SDG Goal 10, that is, reducing inequality among and within countries. Inequality manifests in various forms, economic, social, and political, and undermines the fabric of our societies and injustice. It's not only hampers individual well-being, but also threatens peace, stability, and sustainable development on a global scale. I would like to express my gratitude towards our management and the 𝐒𝐿𝐿 Group who have given us this opportunity to host the program. Thank you, team. Thanks a lot, our management. Now, before starting the program, I want to let you know that our Acropolis group of institution, and from there we are AFMR, MBA College, Acropolis Faculty of Management Research. We are going to host this one day SDG Goal 10, and all are here welcome, heartily welcome on this global platform. And welcome to this SDG Goal 10 Global Summit. Now, I would like to, yes, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Not a single event can be performed by without any leader. It is a great opportunity for us to perform under the guidance of our Honorable Director, Dr. Tarun Kushwaha sir. He is marvelous and very much supportive always in everything. I invite each and every one of you to join me in extending a resounding welcome to Dr. Tarun Kushwaha, whose presence illuminates our summit with wisdom, inspiration, and purpose. Dear sir, I would like to request you to please come for welcome speech. Tarun sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sarita. Thank you very much for introducing me with such nice words. Well, a very good morning to all of you on this auspicious and joyous occasion of the Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit, which is centered around SDG Goal 10. This important gathering, organized in collaboration with 𝐒𝐿𝐿 Association, brings together activists, academicians, and visionary leaders committing to furthering the cause of sustainable development. I heartily welcome our Group Director, Dr. Jayantilal Bhandari, sir. I am very pleased to welcome Honorable Mr. Umesh Kushwaha, CEO, Global Empowerment Awards, powered by 𝐒𝐿𝐿 Association. Respected mentors of the GPSDS 2024, Dr. Esther Mala from Malaysia, and Dr. 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐚 𝐏𝐿𝐿, Europe, and Dr. Parul Sharda also. I would like to welcome all the delegates, renowned speakers from various parts of the country and abroad, organizers, and my students also. I want to express gratitude towards our management for this consent to host such a knowledgeable event. Now, as we have gathered here, we acknowledge the vital significance of Sustainable Development Goal 10, reducing inequalities. And as Dr. Sarita has already mentioned, that inequality can be of various types. Maybe it can be gender inequality, economic inequality, social inequality, and if I'm not wrong, we can also now introduce technical inequality also in today's scenario, because we have seen that across the world, the technology is not evenly spread, and those who have got abundance of technology are somehow using and misusing also. And this gap is, it's widening further. So the purpose of today's session is to understand what are the reasons behind these inequalities and what can be done to reduce these inequalities. See, when we talk about inequalities, that means things are not evenly distributed, and there is abundance of something at one part of the world, and there is scarcity of something at the other part of the world. And this brings inequality. So as a human being, it is important for us to understand that what are the reasons behind this inequality. It can be of any type: social, economical, political, gender, as we have already discussed. Because unless we reduce this equality or remove this inequality, we cannot bring harmony and peace in this world. So as Dr. Sarita has already mentioned, that equality brings peace and harmony in this globe. So our collaboration with Witty Gossip Association, thank you very much. It is an evidence of our dedication to promoting meaningful conversation and cooperative efforts in the directions of sustainable development. And by working together with such more groups, we want to address the underlying causes of inequality and advance inclusive growth by using the power of knowledge, creativity, and group efforts. So let's reconnect to leaving no one behind as we set out our path to a more equitable and sustainable future. Let's work to establish an atmosphere where everyone can reach their full potential and make a positive impact on society, regardless of their upbringing or circumstances. Finally, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all of our distinguished speakers, students, organizers, and audience for your support and dedication to the field of sustainable development. Let's work together to create a more promising and make future for future generation. And I would like to end on this note of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Let the whole world be one family. Thank you very much and welcome to this session.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for your words of wisdom. Thank you. Thank you very much. So today we are very privileged to have with us a highly esteemed leader, a visionary intellect, and a driving force behind the success of Acropolis Group of Institutions. Yes, he is none other than Dr. J.L. Bhandari, our group director. As we gather here to discuss important issues and explore innovative solutions, Dr. Bhandari's presence sets the tone for a dynamic and insightful discussion. His wealth of knowledge, depth of experience, and unwavering commitment to excellence serve as a guiding light for all of us. Sir, I would like to invite you to express an opening remark for this meeting.
Good morning to everyone. Respected dignitaries in the International Virtual Conference, chief guest of this conference, keynote speakers of this conference, Dr. Kushwaji, Dr. Sarita Rana, and all the participants throughout the world. First of all, I congratulate Dr. Tarun Kushwaji and his team for organizing this a useful international virtual conference. I must congratulate our today's chief guest, today's keynote speakers, and all participants. No doubt this subject, global peace and sustainable development, is a need of the hour. I would like to share some important part from India. This is a big contribution towards global peace and towards sustainable development. When we talk from the various basics and principles of global peace and sustainable development, we find that India's contribution is remarkable, and India is getting very good performance on the basis of global peace and sustainable development. Only few days back, on 15th March 2024, United Nations, UNI, published a very important report regarding global peace, regarding sustainable development, and regarding human development resource in world. This report is called Human Development Report 2024. According this very important report, India is improving in various principles and various basics from the global peace and sustainable development point of view. According to this important report, India's ranking is 134 out of 193 countries of the world. This report says, these are very important points. This report says, from the poverty point of view, from the health point of view, from the employment point of view, and from the education point of view, India is getting better in comparison to other world of the all countries of the world. So it is a big remark for India's economy and India's efforts towards the global peace and sustainable development. When we talk from the food grains point of view, India is having third largest country in the world on the basis of food grains production. India is having the 7th top ranking from the food grains export point of view. And one more thing, from the medicine, employment, and medicine export point of view, India is having 4th topmost ranking in the world. So it is a big contribution from India's economy. And one more thing, India's economy is going up year by year. This year, India's growth rate is 7.5. It is the topmost growth rate in the world. So we can say India's contribution is getting better from the global peace and sustainable development point of view. And definitely today's international virtual conference on this important subject, global peace and sustainable development, will be very useful from every society of the world, from the every country of the world, and from the global peace point of view. I believe this conference will be useful to world economy. This conference will be very useful from the global peace and sustainable development point of view. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for your words of wisdom. It will undoubtedly inspire us to strive for greater heights and make a positive impact on our world. Thank you very much, sir.
That is Sarita Rana. I would like to request you, ma'am, after each speech or each presentation, we follow the gesture of joining hands, ma'am, because the theme of this program is Let's Joining Hands to Connect Nations, right, ma'am?
Wow, it's very beautiful.
So I would like to request. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. You say no.
So I would like to request Director sir, please do this joining hands gesture. Yes.
It's like that. Is it okay?
Director sir, please do this joining hands gesture, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Sir, like this. Dear Astara, please let the audience that importance of the joining hands gesture. Yes.
Yeah. Please, this is to show that we are unitedly um, contributing to the goals of sustainable development goal. This is our, can say, a tradition in our GP SDG, Global Peace Sustainable Development Goal Summit.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot to let us know for the same. And it's a very important, nice gesture. Yes, and India, we follow the same gesture for greeting, for praying. It's very important. Thanks a
So
lot.
Yes.
are we doing
Okay,
it?
Daddy, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, are we doing it
Dr.
individually,
Sharita.
Supriya?
Yes. Dr. Sharita, please,
Yes,
please
ma'am.
tell Director Sir Tarun Sir. Okay.
We
So that
take,
dear
Tarun
Astara
sir, are you
capture
here?
their screenshot.
Okay. Tarun sir,
starting with you, Dr. Sarita.
okay, fine.
Yeah, we can start with you. Yes. Both. Namaste. Namaste. Gesture. Let me pin you. Pin you first. Okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah, I need to see you
Yeah.
first. You are not visible on my screen. I pinned you. Yeah, now you are there. Okay. So can you please, Dr. Sarika, put your hands together. Namaste.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, fine. Just a minute.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, 1 minute. I have to see your image clearly.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah. Okay.
Okay, fine.
One more, please. One more, please.
Tarun sir?
Dr. Sarika.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
One
ma'am.
more from your side. Yes. Okay, done. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sarita. Next,
Tarun Sir, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. You want to keep us the video on?
yes, must have your video on, Director, sir. Let me.
Sir, please
Yes. Yes, sir.
hold the hand. Did you capture the photograph of our director and group director for the same?
I'm doing it now. Please.
Okay.
I
Okay.
need.
Please do it.
Sir, you have to do this, sir.
Yes.
Tarun Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
please do this gesture. Please do this gesture, sir. Like
do
this.
namaste. Do namaste.
Okay.
Namaste. Yeah, this is
Yes. Lower your.
Yes.
Yes. Great. I'm taking shots now. 1, 2. Yes. Done. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So much, sir. Okay.
Here, once again, I would like to mention that the gesture of joining hands means we are on a movement that let us connect nations by joining hands. Actually, the program, the theme of this whole Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit 2024 is let us connect nations by joining hands. So I remind each and every speaker that after complete your speech and presentation, we would love to capture your screenshot with joining hands. So please don't forget to make your hands join to connect all nations. Thank you very much. Now, Dr. Sharita, please continue.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. It's a very nice gesture. And in India, we used to use that gesture. Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes,
Thanks a lot. So now, dear audience, dear friends, we have a very special guest today. It's a very rare opportunity to get a guest like her. And she is the one who is called Green Queen, right? And yes, Dr. M. Smiley Mukta Ghoshal. I would like to welcome you from the bottom of my heart. She is a very vibrant personality, a beacon of global leadership. Dr. Smiley Mukta, as she is affectionately known, embodies a kaleidoscope of roles from being a green queen and world record holder to a renowned international motivational speaker and TEDx speaker too. With a treasure of trove of accolades, including multiple awards and recognition as a sustainable peace ambassador and wellness educator, she stands as a testament to the power of passion and purpose. Born to shine, Dr. Emily Mukta Ghoshal trajectory is as diverse as it is impactful, rooted in her childhood love for nature, seamlessly merged her expertise as an Indo-American plant biologist with her entrepreneurial spirit to birth Natural Beauty USA, a green beauty line championing sustainable living and holistic wellness. Her relentless drive to educate and empower knows no bounds as she navigates the globe stage with a vision to cultivate healthier world. As a dynamic personality, as a dynamic leader and mentor, Dr. Smiley Mukta Ghoshal influence transcends borders with over a decade of experience in corporate training and myriad of roles as an intuitive wellness educator, environmentalist, and women empowerment icon. She continues to inspire and uplift individuals worldwide. Her unwavering commitment to the sustainable development goals underscores her dedication to fostering positive change and nurturing the leaders of tomorrow. Ma'am, hearty welcome from our side. And now I
Greetings.
would like to call you for this beautiful occasion to express your enlightened view. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very
Smiley, ma'am.
much. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful introduction. Thank you, Supriya. Thank you, Sarita. You guys are amazing. I don't know. I think, Supriya, I reached out to you that, hey, I'm lost. Because I still remember, that's what we always say, that we are always united, no matter where we go, how far we go. And that's my motto always, and mission and vision in life, that no matter how far I go, how much I travel, love for my country will always be there. And here I am, always ready to be on every platform. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and to be heard. With such a beautiful introduction, I think that is not needed. All was needed is that I always believe that who I am is very important. Above all, I'm just a simple human being, which is good enough. Now, today we are talking about a very beautiful, being a sustainable and a SDG champion and an ambassador. So I can flow around with sustainability because that's my mission to bring a greener world, a sustainable, healthy lifestyle for better future. Now, if you are talking about SDG 10, I'm a person, I speak from my heart. I don't use any script or anything. So I will dive into very, very unique and with simple examples, free flowing, keep it interactive so that it becomes a kind of enjoyable for everyone. When we talk about inequality, I only personally believe, apart from whatever the SDG goals and all are there, that inequalities are not only driven and measured by income, money, but it is determined by different factors like gender, age, origin, racism, disability, class, and religion. When we take this aside, these factors determine inequalities. That's a base of our human psychology, which we talk about. That why am I different from other? Why that person is different from me? When we talk about that, it determines that it continues in our mind that what we are talking about. I still remember the time of, pandemic. It has really, caused the largest rise in between a country inequality in different ways. I mean, I think reducing both within and between country. So when we talk about country inequalities, I'm talking about that. Now, coming back to inequality, if I can say that it really threatens, really ask me, long-term social and economic development. And it also harms always the poverty, which is the bottom line of what we are talking about. When I heard, the director, he was talking about, I really believe that India is really going far, far, far ahead. And I always feel as a pride of India. When I hear, I always say, yes, salute from my own country. Because in terms of every dimension, I'm not talking about SDG here. I'm talking about overall impact of what India is doing nowadays is remarkable. It is really going much ahead. So in terms of what we talk about inequality, let's think that if we start comparing, yes, I am an Indo-American born in India, and I am in United States, and also I cannot differentiate that India and United States, of course. But again, if we keep, what can we do in order to keep ourselves calm in this policy is that we have to consider ourselves pretty much equal and respect, irrespective of culture, color, racism, everything we have to bring in totality. Then only we can talk about peace and harmony. Believe me, from the bottom of my heart, this is my mission and vision across the globe, not only in terms of, talking about sustainability, but sustainability in terms of humanity, because which is what is missing out of the world. Sustainable development goals have been a very dire need on every aspect of every goal, no matter what goal is it. But if we consider ourselves in terms of what we need to do over and above all those goals, so we should stand ourselves as a responsible citizen, responsible towards our community and nation. Over and above, if I talk about inequality, for me, I will give you a simple kind of things, example, which we all can do in order to reduce. Let's start respecting each and every individual. Let's start respecting the person who's sitting next to you in terms of that, because everything is, again, mindfulness. What we need, our actions, set up, what we do is in terms of what we talk about. Number two is that when we talk about respect, at the same time, we stop, compare, compete, ego, rather try to uplift, support, celebrate. And then this becomes joining hands no matter where we are. We are not talking about inequality. We are trying to reduce as much as we can do, because all these overall becomes a primarily a kind of a consistent role in preventing ourselves being comparing and pushing ourselves towards ego and hatred, which is in again hampering the peace and harmony, which is on top of sustainability. When we define ourselves in over and above every aspect of harmony, equality, respect, in terms of anything, it could be social, political, country, you see everything becomes joining hands. And when we join hands, I think we are no less far away to talk about being a better human being in all aspects, irrespective of culture, religion. My last call and my wrapping message to each and every individual across the globe, standing myself as a global and a goodwill ambassador, is that my motto is think sustainable, act sustainable, and turn to be sustainable. So this is my call for today. Thank you very much. I love to keep it crisp and short, free-flowing, interactive, not pretty much scripting it out. And I would love to hear from anyone, any questions, anything. Thank you once again. Love you all. Blessings for everyone. Let's start living a sustainable, healthy lifestyle.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. And I hope that
dear,
was the-
dear Mukta, yes, dear, yes, dear Mukta, I am giving you a spotlight. Please, you have to do once again.
I'd let me pin her.
Yes,
Done.
yes, please pin.
Done.
Right.
Done. So can you please put up your hands up? Yeah, namaste. Don't cover your face. We want to see your beautiful smile. Yes, higher a bit higher. Yes, beautiful. One. Please look to the front, your face. Yes, perfect. Thank you, ma'am. You are done. Thank you.
Okay, fine.
Much
Thank you, ma'am.
appreciated.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So raw you are, without taking any script, you have just spoken by your heart. I'm appreciating a lot. Thank you, ma'am. Nice to meet you. And yeah, in future again, want to listen from your side. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Now, dear friends, now we are going to take our next guest. Yeah, she is none other than Dr. Monica Mascantillo, PhD in psychology, postdoc in cultural psychology, clinical psychologist since 1993, researcher on gender equality, time narratives, resistance of women letters, entrepreneur, dissertation supervisor at Aden University, UK. Dr. Monica, ma'am, you are heartily welcome from g𝐿𝐿 Group, from AFMR, from all the audience, from all the delegates. I would like to invite you to express your views. Yeah. So, Supriya, ma'am,
Dr.
it's okay?
Sarita, your network, yes, the screen is visible, but Dr. Sarita, your network connection is unstable, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
They are working on that. Okay, okay. Supriya, ma'am, screen is visible from now. Yeah, is it okay?
Yes.
Yes,
Monica,
can you
ma'am.
see?
Heartily welcome.
And ma'am, before starting the presentation of Monica, ma'am, I would like to request you, ma'am, our guest speaker from the land of USA, Dr. Anita C. Poval. So, ma'am, actually there is a midnight in USA. So, ma'am, after Monica, ma'am, please call her Dr. Anita.
Yeah, why not, ma'am? Miss Dr. Anita, ma'am. Yeah, why
yes,
not?
Dr.
Why not?
Anita C. Poval, ma'am,
Okay.
she will be give the inaugural address from the Gossip Association, ma'am.
Yeah, no problem, ma'am. Okay.
Okay.
Fine, ma'am. Okay. Monica, ma'am,
Okay.
welcome. Welcome in this global summit.
Yes, I hope you can hear me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the organizers, for Sarita, and for everybody that is here today. It's a pleasure to be talking about sustainability and equality. And the reason I'm going to be talking a little bit and calling our attention about women owning land. And that is something that we somehow are going to face in life for many issues. And most of us are also family members, where if there is some inheritance, some parts of land owning, there's always some kind of crisis and stress, and most of the times that does not happen equally. And that is not only in one country, it's everywhere. We are far from equal in that aspect. And if we see here, so it's basically my message today is to call the attention on two things. First, the access and all the aspects concerning land ownership. And why that is important, it's because when women own land, they bring and they maintain much more sustainable practice. So we are half of the world, 50%, but we only own 10% on average of the world. 90% belongs to men. So it's far from unequal. And world's property needs to be equally shared. And this is a conversation we are not having, not only publicly, but in our families. We more or less think, oh, my daughter is going to marry someone, and then, but we are not discussing, learning, incentivizing, teaching kids about all of that. So that's not some of the questions that I'm going to bring today. I have more questions than answers, but this is something. So this always started because once upon a time, there were 3 brothers and a sister. And these 3 brothers thought they should own more land than the sister. And they assumed because they were men, they could run the land better and so on. But this sister said, no, 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 no. This is going to be equally divided. So equality starts at home. That's another message that I wanted to say to you. If we say something to a daughter and something else to a son, we continue to perpetuate the differences. So unless we are really equally raising the children of the future, and that's something I say at home, this is an equally driven house. So if the woman has to sweep the floor, the man has to do the same. So it's quite that we've been having quite some struggles because it's not easy. That's where the things disrupt. Okay, that's where we become full of challenges because that's where it's not easy. It's sometimes easy to demand equal salaries and so on, but to demand that the man washes the dishes as much as the women, that's something else. And that the man owns the house as much as the women, so that's another thing. Land ownership, and no country is a winner in that. We are all failing bad. Here are some examples. So it goes from 0 to 35, the best ones, but not more than that. So no one is unequal in this aspect. And even some other countries like, could say Germany, it's here 20, 25. No, not good at all. Some of the most important organizations are calling the attention to that because they see that women can produce more and be more sustainable with the land and also take care of all that. I'm going to be, so our right to the land matters to the future of the planet. And that's something that we need to tackle. Also, we do discuss a lot of issues on violence against women and all these sort of issues, but most of the times we can't tackle violence if this woman does not have a safe place for her to live. So all the work that I do as a clinical psychologist and so on also depends on having this safe place to live. And this is not a new subject. Catherine de Pizan in century 13 wrote a book called The City of Women, and she envisioned an equal world belonging to women and a just and equal magnificent city where women would be equally treated. This is century 13. So it's not big, it's not a new subject in the world. So the actions, of course, we need to make law that regulate that, but we also need to change cultural customs and habits. We need to make that accessible to women, and we need to raise women owners more than women who know how to make the makeup. I was the other day discussing why do we speak so much about makeup strategies instead of real estate strategies for women to buy real estate, to own real estate. So we have the International Day for Women's Farmers. There are some women's farmers and farmers run by women all across the globe, which have proved that they are sustainable, they are excellent producers, and they are equally run. However, it's also important that these women possess the land and do it in terms of title of the land. So here's some of my questions I've been asking myself. So why we are all talking about makeup and crazy diets instead of real estate and owning land? Why aren't families discussing property acquisitions? Why aren't banks facilitating all the process for women's mortgage, which is important as well? Why aren't properties equally divided in inheritance? So it's part of all of that. So the practice of property rights for women. So this is more or less where place, look at here, the green. In practice, women face virtually no discrimination. So there's one country. The rest is all, we are all really in big trouble. And this is part of a project that I will be doing in October, is interviewing women and all the struggles to know, because I want to pinpoint personally what are the struggles, why they have given up owning land. And I have some stories of some closes that people came and said, oh, my family came with a paper for me to resign. I said, oh, you call these people your family? Because if somebody comes for me to resign from a right, this is not my family. Thank you. So it's a lot that we have to cover on that aspect. And some other friends said, no, Monica, my family thought that my brother should run the farm, so he stayed with the farm, and we stayed with a box of blah, blah, blah. I said, but he owns the land, and you own nothing. This is not right. This is far from right. So here more data, because there's also a difference between house ownership and land and farms. And we can see here, there's a diversity in terms of some countries. Some countries are quite easy in terms of owning a house. So women can get mortgage, they can buy their own house, and so on. But when it comes into farming, there's a lot of struggle. So this is also one difference of this discussion I'm bringing attention to. And we see here, and that's why we are trying to close the gap, because women are more sustainable. They think about the land. They think about regenerating the land. They do not only explore the land. And that's why I'm taking this fight on board and saying, look, we need to do this equally around the globe. Again, we own less than 20% of the land, yet we produce most of the food supply. I don't think we have awareness of that, and how much we are not only sustainable, but we have excellency in doing that. Even we might have less resources, but we achieve that. Again, some other data on laws concerning rights of owning land for women. And I do believe that if we had 50-50 share of the land, all of the resources, the way we produce, the way we relate to land and sustainability practice would have been so much different. We would have less violence, more sustainability, a lot of less exploitation, and more food on the table. So I think we all want that. And I'm sure we, women of the world, are the ones who should be leading this right. And my question is, if not now, then when? So we are all around the globe. This is affecting us all. And this is not my specific topic of research and so on, but I've put it on board because after what I've seen and what I've been hearing, I said, no, that's another fight I've got to fight. And here I am. I hope you spread the word. And if somebody says to you, oh, you don't need land. Oh, yes, we need land. We need properties. We need as much as anybody else, and under our names. That's another issue, and it's important that it stays like that. Okay, so this is a little bit of me. I'm also a farmer, and I changed from cattle, from animal, to crop, and I'm able to, of course, with some partnerships, and I'm able to produce much more food and take care of the planet together with producing more food. So if somebody says, oh, no, we need this and that, no, we don't need anything. We just need to be us leading at least half of the world. That's what we need. Thank you so much. And I hope I've been on time and that we continue our mission, let's say. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica ma'am. Thanks a lot. Now you have to show the gesture like this, the namaste gesture, so that they could be able to take your gesture in the camera. Is it okay, Supriya ma'am?
Yes. Yes. But Monica ma'am, please, could you stop the sharing screen, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes, perfectly all right, ma'am. Ma'am, now please do this Ma'am, you have to switch on your camera. Yes. Now, ma'am, please do this gesture.
Yes. 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 Can you please put up this gesture? Yes. Lovely. Lovely. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are muted. You are muted.
Thank you all. Thank you all so much for doing
I will
this.
always remember you as a farmer because unique.
Yes, farmer. We are all farmers. Even if we have just a base, we are farmers. We started agronomy. The women started planting. So we have that in our genes. Don't forget that. Even if it's a vase, even if it's a tree of fruits, we are the ones who brought food to the family.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Monica. Back to you, Dr. Supriya.
Thank you, Monica. Thanks a lot.
So now,
you are
moving
always
ahead.
with a lot of facts and figures. And as usual, it's very nice to listen to you, Monica ma'am. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Anita Fogel. Yes, she is going to give inaugural. And I'm appreciating this. We all are here for.
Okay. All right. Do I go now? I mean, okay. Hi. Hi, everyone.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you so much.
Dear Dr. Anita ma'am, before starting your speech, ma'am, Sarita, I would like to request you, ma'am, your network connection is very, very low, ma'am. Ma'am, we can't hear you properly. So, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
ma'am, it's better if you will be joined with the laptop or desktop. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I am trying.
So, Anita ma'am, please go ahead, ma'am. The whole virtual stage is yours.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, first I want to say thank you, Witty Gossip Association and Medicaps University, and of course, Dr. Supriya, mentor professor Dr. Esther, and Dr. Sunita, and all of you. It's so good to be here with you. Okay, so reducing inequality, the first thing that we need to do is start at the root cause of all of this. And what we need to do is to be more self-aware of our perceptions and our perspectives. Now, and also our behavioral nuances, and I call this subtle situational awareness. And we may ask ourselves, well, what in the world does inequality has to do with self-awareness? Well, when we are genuinely on a quest to know ourselves, then we begin to take full responsibility and recognize our role in the challenges of inequality as well as perpetuating inequality. We do this by understanding what privilege, bias, and views we may have about others, and that needs to be dismantling. And that includes, like others were saying, economics and financial and political, but also spiritual and religious. What views do we have on our own spirituality versus spirituality of others? It's okay to be different. There's a difference between being different and something being equal, that's not equal. All right, so how can we do this? Now, what we can do is practice and get an understanding and share the Universal Declarations of Human Rights. We have 30 human declarations of human rights that we are all entitled to. And even if we just took the first one, that we are all born free and equal. If we take that creed and live by that creed and practice that creed and share that creed with others, then we begin to have this thought, because as Smiley Mooka had said, that it begins in the consciousness. So if we do have this thought that everyone truly, and taking in account, because we all have biases, we all have prejudices, and we all have, in some sort, some type of privilege. If we really truly want to reduce and eliminate inequality, we need to start with ourselves and start asking ourselves, where are my biases? Where are my prejudices? That entails being self-aware, because there's so many things that we have within us that we're not even aware of. We can monitor that by our behavior. What is my behavior towards a particular situation? What is my behavior toward a particular culture? What is my behavior toward a particular tradition? So having inequality, you might say, okay, starting with, and everything starts with the individual. Let there be whatever it is, let it begin with me. And is that a lofty goal? I would say no, because inequality reigned before. In the SDG number 5, I mentioned that there was inequality at a time in the golden ages, and even before the biblical times. So inequality did exist. How did it exist there? Perhaps we need to take a look and see back in what was the consciousness of the people as a group, starting individually. So I just want to say that, okay, inequality, reducing inequality, it begins with nothing precedes a thought. If there is inequality, it is because it began with a thought and then it came on the outside. So whatever is on the outside, it started from within. So I'm just here to say, you know what? If we're really serious about peace in the land, if we're really serious about eliminating inequality, let's take a look at ourselves and how we are actually and really thinking and being more self-aware of what we do and how we are interacting with our family, our humanity family. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thank you very
Dr.
much for sharing this beautiful line. And I'm so
See, I know what to do.
appreciating you a lot.
Yes, ma'am. Little bit up, ma'am. Yes.
Bring it up? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, dear Dr. Anita. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And
All
good
right.
night, dear.
Thank you.
Good
And I
night.
give
Good night.
I
Yeah,
give
good
my
night,
good
ma'am.
night to everyone. Thank you so much. Bye now.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
So, Supriya ma'am, can we call our other guest?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Okay. So, the man of distinct vision and a fountainhead of illuminating ideas, an idol of knowledge and experience and inspiration to all of us. I'm talking about our dearest industrialist, Mr. Pramod Dafaria, sir. Sir, I would like to invite you on this global platform to share your knowledge about industries. Mr. Pramod has a vast industry experience with MP Group of Industries. He was the ex-president of there, and he is also working with MSME Mani Group. Dr. Pramod Dafaria, sir, are you here? Pramod, sir?
Madam, I am audible to you?
Yeah, ma'am, please.
Hello.
Sir, heartily welcome. Yes, sir. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, madam. Thank you. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. And I would like to pay my sincere thanks to all dignitaries who has taken the interest in having this topic on the board, reduce inequality in our country and sustainable development. I feel the day this world has taken shape, since then, there is discrimination in caste, creed, color, gender, and education, and all these are the common factors about which my previous honorable guest have spoken. That these are the factors on which discrimination had been a lot. But since I belong to industrial fraternity, so I will focus on industries only. Madam, there is a principle known as Pareto principle, which states that 80% of consequences comes from 20% of causes. Means in industry, if you focus on industry, MSME, we will find that there is no discrimination on caste or creed or gender or color, anything, not at all, because we are focused on one thing, that we are to go for production, and for production or for sales, anything, for export, anything, we require compatible persons. We don't believe in all these shady words of caste, creed, and all these things. So let us talk but to minimize all these things, if there is to minimize all these things, we'll have to focus on cultural behavior and opportunities. Opportunities should be given to everybody in equal sense. Madam, there is a word like ESG, environmental social governance. This is applicable to large scale industries, to corporate sectors only. To cover all these things, government has made it mandatory to work on environment, on social and governance. And audit are being held every year on these topics. Means a large scale industry can exist only and only because they are into export also, if they follow environmental social governance. This is for corporate sectors and big industries. Now for MSME. MSME, there is a word which is known as Z certification, ZED certification, which means zero effect and zero defect. Zero defect means we want to have our product with zero defect. And to produce that product, we want to have zero effect. Zero effect of energy, water, rain harvesting. How come energy? Means again, it is mandatory for MSME to have energy audit. Energy audit means gas, if you use electricity we use, and natural resources we use. Means we are reliable for all these factors if we operate MSME. This way we achieve the word zero effect and zero defect. You will be happy to note, madam, that we go for rainwater harvesting also. Means it is mandatory for every industry to have rainwater harvesting. No effluent will come out of industry. No smoke from chimney because we have got filters. Means we are not polluting atmosphere by gases or by water also, because chemical based industries are there which irrigates water also. So to come above any effect, chemical effect of chemical in water, we go for rainwater harvesting. We go for ETP and STP plant. These ETP and STP plants, they make water not drinkable, but at least they can be used for gardening. They can be used for agriculture if it is in a huge quantity. So this way we keep in mind the zero effect and zero defect. Next point comes health and hunger. Minimum wages are there decided by government, which every industry has to follow. Here, the minimum wages are provided to that extent that there will not be anybody who will be hunger, who will remain without food. About health, we have got ESI, means every worker, whosoever work in our industry is covered with ESI, means he, the worker, and his dependent family members, his wife or children or his mother, father. These dependent persons are covered under ESI. So I hope you could understand that we pay lot of attention on health and hunger. Now what comes? Nepotism. Nepotism doesn't work in industry. I feel nepotism doesn't work in any field. A great leader, his son may not be that great as leader. A great doctor, His son may not be that great doctor. So nepotism makes a person easy platform to travel, but to survive, he will have to have all the qualities what are required to sustain that faculty. So discrimination can be now in MSME, discrimination can be in skill, in education, knowledge, and experience. For skill, government has many projects. Strive, one of the major project of government, where we are funded with money from government and we prepare people who are passed with 6th class only, 8th class only, 10th class only, or BA like this. We prepare them, we make them a good fitter, a good welder, CNC operator. So they can learn the skill and earn lot of money. See, if you are semi-skilled, you will be paid less. If you are unskilled, then only helper. But government doesn't want that anybody should be from unskilled or semi-skilled. Government wants that everybody should be skilled with certain qualities to operate the CNC machine or fitter or like this. So on skill development, government is working a lot. Education. Here, we will have to deep down because education requires money, at least in India. And a parent may not be having enough money to send his child in a good, great college. So this is the part where India lacks and we'll have to work on this education system. Experience. Experience comes by virtue of time. You will have to dedicate yourself. Here, one thing very important I would like to point out, madam, that usually children who pass their MBA course or technical engineering course, and if out of the whole lot, if one boy gets a package of 25 lakhs rupees, if one boy gets a package of 30 lakhs rupees, accordingly in ratio, every child will think that he should get that much amount of package. Every child is inclined to join large industry or corporate. In my view, one should join MSME because the most important benefit, you are in connection with the owner of the industry if you are in MSME. One thing. Second, MSME doesn't focus any employee on one topic. He will have to look all in all departments. That sometimes he may be used for production, sometimes he may be used for banking, sometimes he may be used for purchasing. So he get a good knowledge of all. He may not be master of all, but he will be jack of all. So my thinking that students should never get confused. If one of their colleague, one of their friend have got a good package, it doesn't mean that everybody will get the same amount of package or the package with a difference of 5-10%. They should make a point to join a MSME unit to understand what is what on every topic, every aspect. So I hope I have spoken a lot on this. Our government is also focused for education, for skill, and the thing which we will have to take is experience, which will come by time. Government has entered into Strive project and one more project, that is 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐭 𝐏𝐞a𝐜 Yojana. Means you will be given employment, 𝐒𝐮𝐬 𝐏𝐿. Means you will learn in the industry and earning, means getting salary at the same time. So I hope I have spoken as far as industrial fraternity is considered. And sustainable development, madam, this will only and only come with good vision, impartial thinking, honest working. This will make sustainable development of industry also. So thank you very much again to all dignitaries who has given me time to speak on industry. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Pramod sir. Thanks a lot. And your speech was very helpful to all the students, even if they are going to join any enterprise. And yeah, it was very nice speaking. There are two planning योजनाओं के बारे में भी आपने बताया. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for sparing your time. Thank you very much.
Yes.
The gesture you have to, ma'am, did you capture that gesture?
Not yet. It's too fast.
Okay.
We're listening to you to finish first. Okay, sir, can you please
Yes.
put gestures?
Like this.
Number 3.
Yes, sir.
Yes, great. One more, sir.
You have to be like that. They are capturing your photograph.
Okay, sir. Done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you.
Sneha ma'am, are you here? Sneha ma'am? Sneha ma'am, yeah. So, my dear audience, okay, Sneha ma'am. Sneha ma'am is with us. She's author of 6 books, and she has been awarded many sammans like Sahitya Kosh Samman, Inspiring Indian, LIFT Award for Best Poetry, I'm the Moon, awarded by UKTO Publishing for the best book, I'm the Moon, nominated the best poetry by Pragati Vichar Festival, Bharatiya Kala Sahitya Ratan Award by GS Scholar. He is an IT professional and she has worked hard in the field of writing. She is an author and still she is writing and is aware spreading awareness about the women equality in all over the world. And one of her life goal is to help blurring the social barriers which prevent women to live their own life. And her poems and artwork all are inspired by daily life and things which we experience, which we feel. So, Sneha ma'am, heartily welcome to you in this global platform. I would like to request you to share your views and enlighten us with your experience. Sneha.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for this opportunity. And good morning, everyone. Hello and namaste. Ma'am, can I share my PPT? Am I allowed to share?
Yes.
Okay, so just give me a second. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you. Just a second. Okay, so here is a small PPT I have created for this SDGs, which I'm going to share. Okay, I think this. Okay, so Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, known as the global goals, are a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure all people enjoy peace and prosperity. So today on 10th of April, we are talking about goal number 10, which is reduced inequalities. SDG 10 is made up of 7 targets that focus on reducing inequality within and among countries by closing wealth gaps, reducing inequalities and discrimination, enhancing social protections, and ensuring sound regulation of financial markets. So, do you know the top 10% of the Indian population holds 77% of the national wealth? Yeah, sounds strange. That's where the target number 10.1 is based. Reduce income inequalities. We still see in 2024, we still see around us a majority of households are living today where income is more unequally distributed than it was in 1990s. As per a report from Niti Aayog, the income inequality has been increased to 11%. In context of economic growth in India, inequality has been rising considerably for last 2 decades. What we need is, the need of the hour is to close the wealth gap. Those living in poverty much need faster growth than the income growth of the other groups. We also need to bring this gap closer between the different gender. Men and women should aim to learn equal. I'll move to the target 10.2. which talks about empower and promote the social, economic, and political inclusion of all, irrespective of age, sex, disability, race, and other status. In this, what we need is to measure this gap and shorten the population living on social exclusion, poverty, and poor social income. Okay. All of us, I think, have faced or all of us have experienced this discrimination. We all, at some other point in our life, have felt this. So, what is discrimination? Discrimination is any unfair treatment or arbitrary distinction based on the person's race, sex, religion, nationality, or social origin, or by any other status. Discrimination is a huge roadblock on the way of bridging the gap of inequality. That's what the target number 10.3 on the whole target 10 focus on. Target number 10.3, which talks about ensure equal opportunity. So in corporate life, in political, in industry, in enterprises, roughly 1 in 5 people have experienced discrimination. And women are more than twice as likely as men to experience discrimination on the grounds of sex. People with disabilities also experience much higher rate of discrimination because of the disability they carry and the mindset the people have that they cannot perform the way normal people can do, even though they have the wisdom and power to do that. To bridge this gap, to bring this inequality to remove this inequality, we need to focus on including laws and policies for eliminating the discrimination and promote appropriate legislation to ensure equal opportunities for all. Here is this. Think about a scenario where in society, every individual in population has the exact same income or all the income goes to a single individual. Can we think about it? Is it possible? I don't think so. Neither of the scenarios possible nor desirable. We don't want it. And here comes our target 10.4, which tells to adopt physical and social policies that promotes equality. We need to promote the social environment where we can grow and think about equal social environment. We need effective laws and policies in place for the better labor share in GDP. On the idea behind the basis of this SDG is leave no one behind. We need everybody. We need every common man to contribute in the growth of the country. We need everyone shares in GDP. And that is why we need to adopt social policies that promotes equality. It will help lead a better living condition for workers and for the poor classes. And there is another fact which I'll talk to you. In 2008, we all have faced recession. None of us have forgotten that. And none of us want to be shocked again by the financial crisis like in 2008 we did. That is the reason there is the target number 10.5, which focus on improved regulation of global financial market and institutions. COVID-19 has already jolted down the growth of the financial system globally. Every country, every person, every household in all the countries have faced this slowdown. COVID-19 has snatched away 2 beautiful years from the hands of working people, from the dreamers who wanted to achieve, and it has already slowed down the growth rate. But we are ready to fly again. The world is ready to thrive again. And we want a sound and strong financial system. We want the money to go to the needy's hand. We need a proper monitoring system and policies in place which monitors that the need is getting the money and it is not going elsewhere. We need better control on non-performing assets and loans to fulfill this target 10.5. I'll move on to the next one, which is target 10.6. It is self-explanatory, enhanced representation and wise for developing countries in decision-making in global, international, economic, and financial institutions. We hear the voice of strong, but we also have to hear the voice of those who are not the strongest. We need the stronger voice for developing countries, the decision bodies of the international organization, with the idea being that developing countries are best placed to make the case for policies and decisions that are meant to benefit them. Developing countries have to make their voice count to make this decision. And there comes our last target, which is 10.7, which talks about migration policies. So all of us have some or the other point in our life have gone to a place where we are born and raised for the work, to survive, to an unknown society. And migration for work is another reality in today's world. There are a variety of causes and barriers which makes it difficult for a migrant to integrate into an unknown society and culture. We have seen and we have heard about multiple deaths, the loss of property, loss of financial, loss of status of people who migrate from one place to another. And what we need is a safe, regular, responsible policies for migration and mobility of people. This applies to those who willingly migrate and for those who are forced by the employer to move to the other country or region. So these are the 7 targets for the target number 10, reduced inequalities. It is also a fact that the success of 2030 agenda will depend on a significant way on the progress of India make on these SDGs. Not because the size of the population India as a country has, but also because of the strength and resilience of the Indian economy. Even though India have made quite a good progress to bridge this gap and to move closer to the SDGs goal of 2030, but we still have a lot to do. We still have a way to go. We still see the children in poor population are still 3 times more likely to die than the children of rich. We still see unequal opportunity for men and women in society, in politics, in enterprise, in all walks of life. We need to bridge this gap. Social protection has been significantly changed strongly for the person with disabilities than the average to incur the health expenses. Yeah. So these are my thoughts, and thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Thank you, Sneha ma'am, as you have covered many goals of SDG 10, and very briefly and very sweetly you have like explained each and everything. You have covered everything. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you very much. Now one gesture to
Yeah.
capture your attention.
Yes. Let me pin her.
Is it okay?
1 minute, ma'am. 1 minute. Yeah. You are now okay. 1 minute. Okay. Smile, ma'am. No.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
One more time, ma'am. One more time.
Okay.
Went so fast. Let me pin you again. Yes. One. Smile, ma'am. Okay, great.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Sneha ma'am. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
So, my dear audience, my dear friends, we have more star in our galaxy. So now here we are. We have Professor Ashwini Suryavanshi. She is very good in clinical psychology and she has cleared her NAT in clinical psychology. She has worked as an educator, as a professor in the government PG college, G𝐿S, which is situated in Sagar. And ma'am is very much helping, and she is always like motivate students for, because she has that clinical psychology, and I personally worked with her. So I know her very well, that she is always stand for sustainability. Always means always. And because psychology is her subject, so she knows very well how to handle each and every. Ma'am, hearty welcome in this global summit. And thanks a lot for saying yes to express your views in spite of your very busy schedule. You anyway, spare time for we people. Thank you, Ashwini ma'am. Thanks a lot. Now I would like to invite you to express your views on the same. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Sarita ma'am. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my views on this global platform. Thank you so much. I would like to thank this panel, Dr. Easter Mala ma'am, Anita C. Powell ma'am, Dr. Supriya Pathak, and Director of Medicaps University, and of course, Dr. Sarita Rana ma'am. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Here I am sharing my screen. Ma'am, it is showing that host disabled participant screen sharing. So please, will you enable this?
Supriya ma'am.
Let me see. Make you
Okay, fine.
host. Yes.
Is my screen is visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes.
Fine. So here I am discussing today about reducing inequalities, which is one of the 10th goal in SDGs. Here today I am discussing about the psychological perspective, okay, about reducing inequalities. Fine. So inequalities are dependent on a variety of circumstances and can take on diverse manifestations. Here are a few distinct inequality bases. So when we are talking about the psychological perspective, we are talking about the cognition, how our mind works, how we are involved in these kind of inequalities, these kind of prejudice, this kind of discrimination. So here we are discussing, I'm discussing few discriminations, or we can say the inequalities. There are so many inequalities globally, we can say, but I'm mentioning here few. One of these is education disparity, health inequalities, social class and status, gender disparities, racial and ethnic inequalities, ability and disabilities, and geographic disabilities. So, what about the education disparities? Inequalities in access to quality education and educational outcomes contribute to disparities in opportunities and life outcomes. Factors such as socioeconomic status, geographic location, gender, ethnicity, and disability can influence educational inequalities. So, next is health inequalities. Health inequalities are the differences in health outcomes between individuals or groups. These disparities can be based on various factors, including socioeconomic status, access to healthcare services, environmental conditions, genetic predispositions as well, and lifestyle behavior. Next is our social class and status. Social class and status inequalities are based on differences in social and economic standing within the society. They can influence access to resources, opportunities, and social privileges, impacting various aspects of life, including employment, education, healthcare, and social interactions. Next is our gender disparity. So, Dr. Monica ma'am has already talked about the gender disparity. So I am just giving the brief introduction about it. Gender inequalities refer to differences in opportunities, treatment, and outcomes between men and women. They can manifest in various domains, including employment, education, healthcare, political representation, and decision-making power. Racial and ethical inequalities. Now, what is racial and ethical inequalities? These are the system discrimination and disparities in opportunity, treatment, and outcome based on races and ethnicity. They can affect areas such as employment, income, education, housing, healthcare, and criminal justice. Next is our ability and disability. Now, what are these ability and disability? We can say about the physical disabilities and the psychological or mental disabilities, both here. Inequalities based on ability and disability refer to differences in opportunities, treatment, and outcomes for individuals with disabilities compared to those without disabilities. These disparities can affect employment, education, healthcare, accessibility, and social inclusion. So there are so many impacts of these kind of disabilities. The next is age-based inequalities and geographical disparity, we can say. So all these things these are the few inequalities I have mentioned here, but there are so many inequalities are present all over the worldwide and globally, we can say. Now, if I'm talking about the psychological perspective, so how our mind, our cognition, our learning, all these are related to these kind of inequalities, and how we can just uh, move towards the change, towards the sustainable development, including these kind of psychological process in our inequalities areas. So identifying the psychological process that underlie inequality and implementing remedies into actions. So first one is promoting empathy and perspective talking. So when we are talking about the perspective talking, it encouraging individuals to empathize with others and take the perspective of those from different backgrounds, and can help reduce prejudice and discrimination. Now we need to include our empathy, not only sympathy, to keep our feet in someone else's shoe, can say. So interventions such as perspective talking exercises and storytelling workshops can enhance empathy and understanding among diverse groups. Second one is addressing implicit biases. Now, what is this implicit biases? Implicit biases, which are unconscious attitudes or stereotypes that affect our understanding, actions, and decisions, contribute to inequalities. One of the psychologists called Sigmund Freud, he introduced about the term unconscious mind. So this, our unconscious mind, our attitudes, all are the things that impact our decision making, our attitude, that form our attitude. So this is implicit biases is one of the solution, we can say. Implementing training programs and workshops to raise awareness of implicit biases and providing strategies to mitigate their effect can help promote fair treatment and reduce discrimination. Next one is building intergroup contact. Now, what is building intergroup contact? Increasing positive contact between individuals from different social groups can help reduce prejudice and improve intergroup relations. Creating opportunities for meaningful interaction, such as though collaborative projects or community events, can foster mutual respect and understanding. Next is enhancing self-efficacy and resilience. So what is this? Empowering individuals from marginalized or disadvantaged groups by enhancing their sense of self-efficacy and resilience can help them overcome barriers and achieve their goals. Now, what is self-efficacy? To identify individuals, their potentials, they need to identify their potentials. Okay. Providing mentorship, skill building programs, and supportive environments can strengthen individuals' belief in their ability to succeed despite challenges. Now, promoting inclusive education and awareness. Education plays a crucial role in shaping attitudes, beliefs, and behavior. Promoting inclusive education that values diversity, teach about social justice issues and challenges, stereotypes can foster greater acceptance and respect for all individuals. Now, supporting mental health and well-being. How we can support the mental health and how we can enhance the well-being of the individual. We need to identify inequalities can have significant impact on mental health and well-being. Providing accessible mental health services, reducing stigma surrounding mental illness, and promoting self-care and coping strategies can support individuals in navigating challenges and achieving their potential. Now, the last one is advocating for policy change. Now, psychological research can inform policy initiatives aimed at reducing structural inequalities. like I'm doing a research on this gender inequality, like particularly for female police force in our area in Madhya Pradesh. So this kind of researches, many researches are there on different kind of inequalities. So we can do this kind of research and suggest our policymakers to do the changes and whatever the thing is needed for our uh, particular issues. Advocating for policies that address systematic discrimination, promote equal opportunities, and support marginalized populations can create a more equitable society. So these are a few suggestions that I shared here. There is a quote by Antonio Guterres, Secretary General, United Nations. Unless we act now, the 2030 agenda will become an epitaph for a world that might have been. So we need to do things to achieve our goal, how much it is possible for us to do the things. So namaste from my side. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashwini ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, you want to capture one of her namaste?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will pin her again. She's okay. Yeah, ma'am. Yes. Ma'am, please. One more. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashwini ma'am. You have covered many things in your psychological terms, as usual. And yeah, it is there. There are too many inequality. Although we people are working on sustainability, and I hope somewhere we will get that sustainability, because there are too many inequality we are facing in India and all over the world. Thanks a lot, Ashwini ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much. So,
Dr. Sarita,
yes,
Dr. Sarita, I would like to request you, ma'am,
Yes.
one of our guest speaker from the land of Philippines.
Okay.
Actually, he has a lots of network issues. So, ma'am,
Okay.
can we do the presentation?
Yeah,
for
Amrita
the,
ma'am is here,
Philippines
ma'am.
speaker
Actually,
here?
it's her turn. Amrita ma'am, is it okay for you for 2 to 5 minutes? Amrita ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So, Jaricho sir, are you ready from the land of Philippines? Yes, sir. Sir, I am making you co-host, sir. Dear Estara, could you please present her PPT? Jaricho sir, please, please check your mic. Please switch on your mic, sir.
Now, is it Dr. Jericho?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Sure.
Sure.
Am I?
Yes, Dr. Jericho, you just let me know that slide, please, and I will share. You want me
Okay.
to, or you want to?
Please do it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, I will. Yes.
Okay. That's good. Am I audible?
Yes.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, loud and clear. Okay. So can I start?
Yes.
Okay,
Sure.
so to the
Sure,
with the Gossip Association, to the moderators and organizers of this event, my co-speakers, participants all over the world, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So allow me to present to you my presentation about what I know about sustainable development goal number 10. Well, SDG 10 has something to do with reducing inequalities. Okay, so when we speak of sustainable development goal number 10, it aims to reduce. It aims to reduce inequality within and among countries. So from Asia, from other part of the world, it seeks to empower. The intention or goal of this SDG is it seeks to empower and promote social, economic, and political inclusion. Okay, all other regardless of age, sex, disability, race, ethnicity, origin, religion, or economic or other status. Okay. So next slide. Okay. So reducing inequality within and among countries deals with income inequality. Okay, in income inequalities, addressing income gaps and ensuring fair distribution and wealth of resources, of economic resources. This includes yes, that's what we call empowerment and equal opportunities among people. Okay, and it has something to do also with social mobility. What is social mobility? Social mobility is providing equal opportunities for people to improve, okay, to improve their social and economic status, okay. And the number three indicators that we need to have is inclusive education, inclusive development. Inclusive development is ensuring that the benefits of development are shared equitably across all segments of society, because that's really the purpose, to ensure that there is what we call equal opportunities. Okay, there is equal access. There is we target interventions among countries to the implementation of different programs and projects, and leveling the playing field. Leveling the playing field is removing barriers, okay, and creating a more equitable environment, okay, to all tribes. That's it. Next, uh, the next slide is all about promoting. Next slide, ma'am. We need to promote social, economic, and political inclusion. That's part of the SDG program, the SDG goal. Okay, social inclusion, ensuring that marginalized groups and individuals have access. Okay, that's what I'm telling before, that each and everyone have access to essential services. Essential services deals with health, the education sector, and any other programs and projects implemented by the government. And economic inclusion includes providing equal opportunities, yes, and employment, access to financial services, and entrepreneurship. Okay. And the last one is political. So social, and we have also economic and political inclusion. That's ensuring all citizens have a voice in decision-making process. Okay, decision-making process, and that their needs are represented. So that's why I mentioned earlier in my first slide. It talks about empowerment. Okay, so reducing inequalities is it refers to empowerment and providing the efficient services to the people. Okay, next slide. Next presentation is adopting policies. So if we are to reduce inequalities, we need to adopt policies to progressively achieve greater equality, and this include tax reform. Okay, tax reform, implementing progressive tax. The higher the family, the higher the income of the family, the higher the tax. That's progressive. Okay, that redistribute wealth. Okay, so wealth and resources more equitably. This also manifested through social protection. What does social protection mean? Social protection is providing universal or global access to essential services and vulnerable population. So when we speak of vulnerable people that needs these programs and projects of the government. Affirmative action. What does affirmative action? Affirmative action implementation refers to implementation programs that actually promote the inclusion and representation of marginalized groups or marginalized sector of a certain economy. And the last is anti-discrimination laws. This involves enacting and enforcing laws that individuals from discrimination because that's what we want. If we want to reduce inequalities, there should be no discrimination. Okay, based on their identity, based on their status, ethnicity, political affiliation, religion, or any other indicators of population growth and development. Okay, so the next presentation, the next slide, this involves improving. How do we improve regulation and markets? Because we are to try to improve, to reduce, we need to reduce the inequalities. Number one is transparency. Okay, so transparency is ensuring greater transparency in financial institutions and decision making process, because financial market is really one of the indicators in realizing the peace and prosperity of a certain nation. The transparency, the seal of good governance. Also, we have accountability. Accountability is holding financial actors and institutions accountable in their actions and their impact on global inequality. Okay, and also the equitable access. Equitable access is ensuring all individuals and communities have fair. Okay, so that's the key word in reducing inequalities. We have to be fair and equitable. Okay, access to financial services and resources.
Is it disconnected?
I think yes, it is connected.
It's coming. Let me show the last slide.
Yes, it's a call to action, right?
Yeah, he's concluding. So
more just, equitable, and inclusive world for all. Yes, it's a wonderful quote. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Dr. Sarita Rana,
Yes, ma'am.
please continue.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Dear Astara, yes.
Yeah,
Dear
yeah.
Astara, please
Yes.
stop sharing.
Yeah, I will. I just took the shot of this. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. So, dear friends, we have Ms. Amrita Singh from Gurugram, Haryana. She is working as an assistant professor at the School of Legal Studies, K.R. Mangalam University, Gurugram. She has more than 7 years of experience in the field of academics as an assistant professor with Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth, Indore, and Indore Institute of Law, Indore, Madhya Pradesh. She is a graduate in political science and law and registered advocate. Currently, she is pursuing PhD as well. She has presented and published various research papers in national, international seminar and conferences. She has chaired many conferences as well. She is a very hard worker and always ready for sustainability. So, Amrita ma'am, hearty welcome for on this global platform.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
To invite you to share your views, Amrita ma'am.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, am I able to share my screen?
Yes, ma'am. You are perfectly audible. You want to share your screen?
No, I am disabled right now.
Supriya ma'am? Oh,
yes.
Yes.
It's visible, everyone? Ma'am, PPT is visible or not?
Yes, it is visible.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good morning, everyone, one and all present here, and those who are the advocates of education equity. It is with great pleasure and sense of urgency I am here before you today to discuss a topic of utmost importance, that is enhancing quality education in remote or underprivileged communities through strategic approaches and measured impact. According to Margaret Mead, children must be taught how to think, not what to think. This is a very general schools, because we may say the poor quality education is leading to poor learning outcomes. Ultimately, they're pushing children out of the education system and leaving them vulnerable to child labor, abuse, and violence. Because education liberates the intellect, unlocks the imagination, and is fundamental for self-respect. Education is not just a fundamental right, it is the cornerstone of progress and development of any society. Many communities around the world, quality education remains a distant dream, often led by a myriad of challenges.
Amrita ma'am,
Remote or underprivileged
Amrita ma'am,
communities.
you're not properly
Hello.
audible, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Not properly audible.
Is there any issue, ma'am?
Yeah,
She's
was
audible, Dr. Sarita. She's very
okay. Okay, ma'am. Yeah, fine, Amrita. Go on. Yes, Amrita ma'am, go on. Yes.
Now it's connected.
Yes, yes.
Is it visible?
Yes. Yes, please.
It was working all the time, but right now it has been
Yeah.
unstable. I'm really sorry for that. I was talking about the poor quality education in India because the remote or underprivileged communities face significant barriers and their ability to provide and access high quality education. Although India has made progressive development in improving access to education in recent years, but there is still a long way to go, especially in underprivileged communities. Many schools in rural areas lack basic facilities such as classrooms, furniture, and clean drinking water. Because quality education is foundation for progress. Quality means effectiveness or efficiency, and the quality of educational process experienced by students. When we are dealing with the quality of education, we means a standard education must be given to all. The content and syllabus must be same for all. And it should be improved with the passage of time. But in India, this is not same for all, because we have seen there are a lot of things we have to manage. Number one, infrastructure, in the lack of better infrastructure for the education development, digitalization of education, involvement of the communities. In India, we are far from these things because community is not involved in the education in underprivileged areas. There is a need of teacher training and support as well. Because in India, there are in some underprivileged communities, the students speak a different languages. This leads because the language of the instruction. So it can make it difficult for students to understand the material and participate into the classes. The government also faces the challenging of providing education in a multilingual countries, as there are over 100 languages spoken in India, and many of these languages are not widely spoken outside their respective regions, which makes it challenging to develop textbooks and other educational materials that are relevant to all students. To tackle these issues, we must adopt strategic approaches like multilingual education, holistic education, and partnerships and collaborations. Best practices they can also work out with the student-centered learning, community involvement, use of technology, school nutrition programs such as midday meals, etc. If we can see the challenges, already we have discussed about the shortage of qualified education teachers, limited resources, geographical isolations, socioeconomic challenges, cultural and linguistic barriers, and lack of parental involvement. In village and remote areas, these issues have been shortlisted by many of the organizations. But we can change these challenges into the opportunities and we can shape our rural education or underprivileged communities. Like, we can do that closer contact with teachers and community engagement. And we have to make it done with the cohesive rural communities and rich natural environment. New opportunities for digital learning and working, potential of technology and innovation to raise outcomes, scale and demand for quality education. And we also can do that, the shortages of skilled workers and educators. We must recognize that one size does not fit all, because when it comes to education, context always matters. We can see the education gaps in our underprivileged communities, like low budgetary allocation, higher cost of education, outdated educational system, education and assessment system, and condition of primary educations as well. Now, what we can do that for the strategic approach, we need to adopt some approaches, like we can innovate our teaching methods in the underprivileged communities. We have to improve our community involvements through NGOs and local organizations, etc. We have to integrate our technology. It should exist. It will make easier to the students to improve their participation into the classrooms. Now, technology integration, teacher training support, and infrastructure development, and partnerships and collaborations. By these things, we can make it done. After that, we can see what is the quality education means. Quality education give every child to thrive. It is inclusive and ensure that every child has the resources, attention, and focus to learn effectively. The provision of quality education gives strength students the space to dream about. So we can see that education also plays a vital role in reducing poverty and promoting social mobility. It also essential for the economic development, because it is crucial. It plays a crucial role in developing human capital, knowledge, skill, and abilities, and contribute to economic growth. Investment in quality education can also positively impact economic development, and education can help to reduce the poverty and inequality by providing individuals with the skills and knowledge. Now, what we can see, we can improve our education through the community empowerment. Although, if we can empower a community, if community will take the ownership of education, they can foster a sense of responsibility and pride within the community. They will lead to a more engaged and committed approach to the education. We can see the community education can lead a culturally relevant, culturally educational practices. They can reduce the challenges and strengthen the education system. If we can see the technology also bridging the gap between the current education and the in the urban and rural areas, because in underprivileged areas, poverty is an issue and traditional education resources infrastructure is limited. So we have to overcome these barriers and provide equal access of equal quality education. So technology can bridge educational gaps, and technology also can reach the remote areas. We can overcome with the overseas issues like geographical isolation and all. We can check the measuring impact, because for the strengthen, we have to measure our impact as well. We can establish clear metrics and indicators like a learning outcome, access and equity, quality of infrastructure, teachers quality, etc. We also have to data collection and analysis to track progress, national and state level assessments, school level data, technologies for data collection, etc. Evaluation, we have to measure the impact of evaluation and refinement of the strategic outcomes as well. We have to do the policy review, teacher training support, community engagement, etc. There are a lot of case studies have been provided by the community in India for the progress of the quality education, like Room to Reach. These are the very essential case studies to study whenever we are talking about the quality education in India, like Pratham, Read India campaign. Pratham has plays a very good role because it improving basic reading and math skills among children. Another one is 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐭. It is implemented by Colombia and Latin America. It is not implemented in India, but we can take this model in India as well. This model that promote participatory learning. Another one is Ekal Vidyalaya Foundation. Ekal Vidyalaya Foundation focuses on providing education to children in remote and tribal areas. Another one is Barefoot College, Rajasthan, Akshay Patra Foundation. This is also provides midday meals in India, midday meal to children in government schools to enhance the attendance and nutrition. Another one is Barefoot is Rajasthan. It is a very good initiative though. It focuses on the women education. Project Nanhi Kali, Prayas, Room to Read and Teach for All, and Project Sathi. Sathi is a very good initiative taken by the Niti Aayog. This project has been taken by the Sustainable Action for Transforming Human Capital for Education. So these are the monitorings. Monitorings as well, we may say it's a conclusion of my this today's topic. Like if you can see, there are different education is not just about the acquired knowledge, it is a transformative force that shapes individuals. But in India, there is total number of primary schools in India is 0.664 million in latest years. And upper primary schools in India is 0.219 million. And population of age group is 6 to 14 million, 193 million. Total secondary and senior secondary schools is 0.133 million, 30.5 million respectively. So we may say education equips individuals with the knowledge, skills, and values they need to succeed in life. Quality education ensures they communicate effectively and adapt to rapidly world. So child education is a big matter rural India, but right strategies and quality it is challenging. So that.
Supriya ma'am, Amrita ma'am is there? No?
I think she's disconnected.
Maybe there is
Yes,
network
she has
issue.
disconnected.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay,
she is
fine.
disconnected.
So we
Meanwhile,
can go ahead with other speakers. Yeah.
One more minute, please.
yes,
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 Supriya.
ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
Jaricho, are you there?
Yeah, he's waiting for his gesture.
Jaricho, sir?
Sorry.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
1 minute.
So,
Because he already delivered the speech, but waiting for us to take his shot on the gesture. Dr. Jerry.
Jaricho, sir, please switch on your camera.
Just text to me.
Even he texted me also, but I think camera. Yes, there is a problem of the
He got
network.
a power failure, it seems. Please.
Yes, power failure. So, Jaricho, sir, are you there?
I just text him. I think again.
Meanwhile,
then we can. No, this is another person. Yeah, Dr. Amrita is back. Maybe we can have a screenshot first while waiting for Dr. Jericho.
Yes.
Yeah. Dr.
Amrita ma'am.
Yes.
Amrita ma'am, we want your lovely gesture with namaste.
Yes. Let me pin her. Okay, I pin her. Dr. Amrita. Yeah. Your gesture, please. Namaste.
Sorry. Due to internet connectivity, I just.
Yes. Okay. 1 minute. Done, Dr. Amrita. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Amrita ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much,
sparing
ma'am.
your time and give your valuable suggestion and insights on the same. Thank you. Thanks. a
Thank
lot.
you so much, ma'am.
So, dear friends, it's very rare to know, to listen the knowledgeable speakers. So, I want to talk about our Dr. A.K. Singh sir. He was a director in many universities in this Indore, MP, and he has worked with MSME industries. And he has thorough knowledge about industries. And he is also working with MSME. He is the treasure of knowledge. I want to say he has a lot of experience, and I'm very feeling very glad, very proud to call him in on this global platform on the behalf of AFMR. So, Dr. A.K. Singh sir, are you here, Dr. A.K. Singh sir?
1 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Dr. G𝐤𝐴𝐿𝐿 is here. Can we get his screenshot before he has
Gone again.
Yes, because of it, he's having some problems. Sorry, yeah. Please excuses. Dr. G𝐤𝐴𝐿𝐿, are you here? I saw you. I admitted you just now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Okay, great. Yeah, please do namaste. Your gesture. Great. 1, 2. Done. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I'm talking about Dr. A.K. Singh, sir. He is here with us, treasure of knowledge and experience. Welcome, hearty welcome, sir, on this global platform. Please share your insight on the MSME and industries, inequality for the same. A.K. Singh, sir.
Thank you, Sarita, madam. I'm really pleased to get this opportunity talking to you. This to be a guest of people are sitting in front of me. Good afternoon. That we started in the morning, but I think the time is coming back to the next phase. The topic, what you asked me to discuss, that is all your sustainability and inequality in MSME. Now, if I was talking about your inequality, obviously, my previous speaker was talking about this. Nothing is so-called an inequality part in the industry is concerned. We treat everyone is to be into the same fashion. But this particular word, sustainability, on this particular subject, I would like to discuss. I'll take 5 to 10 minutes on this. And I'm going to discussing only one of my case study. I'm not going to talking much about the thing which is from the theory or other things. I conducted one study from 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐿, Germany. They have given us assignment while I was director Vaishnav. And I was trying to making out this Indore location and Bhopal location also. And they have given us assignment for in the textile industry. Conducted a study in the 124 industries of nearby area and come out with the certain logics. Why the small scale industries, why the medium scale industries are not sustainable, and what the problem they are facing, whether everybody knows it. We second day we are finding in the paper or in other places, the issues are well aware to the entire nation. Though the contribution in GDP is 30% and the total business is around 50% in the Indian economy by the MSME only. Now, if I focus, there are 6, 7 points are there. I'll go one by one. If I can just brief it out, access to finance, capacity building, technology adoption, market access, regulatory reforms, social protection, and supporting ecosystems. I took the 7 aspects to talking about the MSME issues, though they are so-called the small and medium scale industries. Now, suppose if I start with the first one, access to of finance. While I was conducting this study, most of the industries are striving for the real finance. If I asking about the actual finance means, suppose the company approached the bank for a working capital. Bankers are evaluating the documents and they are giving always the less finance what they are asking for. Now, what does mean of this? My one cycle is completed and you know the debtors problem is always going on. Keeping the debtors issue, second cycle, the money get to be a lesser. Gradually, the owner's fund, what the bank has given to them, is to be getting lesser. Recovery is less and the profitability undergoes the downline. Second point is your inventory management. The small scale industry people are not knowing much about how to manage the inventory of the late. So maintaining this, the organizations are facing a tough time. They are approaching to the institution, they are approaching to the finances, they are approaching to the bankers, they're discussing the problems, but there is a gap to understanding between the bankers and the owners altogether. And gradually, we find 76% of the industries are going downline because of the major issues in the country. Now, if I talking about the target loan, government is talking about the loan targets. Nothing is like in a loan targets, actual loan targets. How much they're looking for. This was my finding altogether. Whatever the targets to be given, that should be suffice their business, not just to start the business. Because sustainability is one very big question. I can work for next 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 1 year. But what about that? Because a lot of fixed assets already been generated. And if the fixed assets, the money is already landed up in the fixed assets, and these assets are not been working, one can easily make it out where exactly we are landing up. This was why one of the very major finding in that particular working it out. Second is talking about your capacity building. How can you go for the capacity building? Like we talking about the training, we are talking about your technological adoption. We are talking about the financial literacy. Seriously, if I can go with the line, people are not knowing much about your financial literacy, how the really funds to be utilized for running the small scale industry or any particular plant altogether. So this is our responsibility. This is the government responsibility, the private sector's responsibility to train them how the finance is to be utilized, how the money can be rotated. Like in the management colleges, we are teaching a lot, but in actual junction, the things are entirely different. So the government is supposed to train the peoples in the real site altogether, at the plant site altogether. They have to take the projects, they have to things, or I can say they adopt the project and run there with their own experiences. Now the era has changed. Even that time also, while I was working 5 years back, technological adoption. This is the very, very major issue in the small scale industries. Bigger industries, major industries, they are adopting the thing because they have their own funds, because they are earning profits and they are adopting, they are changing themselves very well. I'm involved with this particular industry in the Pithampur for the last 35 years, whether I know this particular sector very well. Most of the very big industries not change their technology. One of the very big textile industry in Indore, one of the very known industry in Indore, they are not being changed their technology and they dropped off. Similarly, in Bhopal, people has gone because they have not been able to come back to the rail line. So the technology adoption is the not your choice. This is compulsory. If you have not been adopting it, you're gone. So this is the very, very, if you want to sustain, you have to go with this adoption facilities are there. Now for that, what you're supposed to do it? You have to collaborate. You have to talking about take the technical assistance either from the government or from the private industries or any other place. For that, government is supposed to subsidize the technical fees. Government will help the industry peoples for the latest technology to sustain their business. I'm not talking about the growth. I'm not talking about the profitable business. I'm only talking about your sustainability business. Now, third point is the market access. If I say market access, this is the backbone. This is the backbone. I'm doing for finance, I'm looking for running the business. Technical aspect, running for the business. For unless and until I get the business, how can I run the business? Now, here the question of the scaling up. Whether your business is scaling up gradually or you are at the same line. Sustenance is always go with your scaling up. If you're earning more profit, then probably you can, like in a COVID time, a lot of industries has gone to the dooms. Why? What the reason? Because most of the industries are only running at the break-even level. Once you are running at the break-even, means that you're only getting the profit for that particular period of time. Suppose if any eventuality comes and you are not scaled up, means that you are going up to the lines. So if you really want to sustain, You have to scale the business from 0 day one when you're starting the lines. How can you sustain? How can you grow your business? Definitely local business, indigenous business is one. But now, because government is supporting that to be a very extent for exports. People are talking about exports. Then I too also talking about exports. Suppose your entire business going 30 to 40% into the export market, probably your valuation is up to the mark, what you're looking for. So the method of sustaining is the one way that you have to go with the export and get the more valuable profits. Now, next point is the linkages with the larger companies. I can talking about two things. You have to be a son of a mother industry. What do you mean by son of the mother industry? Mother industry is talking about your ancillary units. If you are really adopting either into the forward business or to the backward business as an ancillary for any bigger industry, there too also you can sustain. There too also you can do the business and you can change yourself with the changing in the major industries. So next issue, I'm talking about your regulatory methods, because this is the thing where we are focusing for the government aspects. Now, if I talk about still we are running into your bureaucratic approach, though the government is claiming that the system is already been generated, lot of things are very well systematized. Sorry to say, people's in the very small scale industry that's striving in the government reforms, government places. So unless and until you have to make them ease in bureaucratic system, probably we may get the much better positioning than to win other things. Now, reducing compliance cost. Now, anybody can ask me, sir, what do you mean compliance cost? For starting any particular project, there are 9 different compliances you are supposed to compile it. For that, you are supposed to take your major initial funds. Sometimes the government or the financial agencies are not providing this compliance cost to the owners. And because of that particular compliance cost, my cost of projects shooted up, and it's very difficult to really recover it from there. So the compliance cost is to be very well gauged it out. Now, eliminating unnecessary regulations. Every day we are finding out the documentation is too much. And if you revise it, probably we are repeating the same thing into the 10 different forms. Probably it should be the single window concept. This concept has come 15 years back, but even today, they are not at all implementing it. So this is the one we have to work it out. I'll not want to take much time of yours. I'll take hardly 2 minutes time over there. Social protection. In the small scale industries, what happens? We are not providing health insurance. We are not providing pension schemes. We are not providing maternity leaves. Why not? Because the worker, the person is working over there. They are giving their breath every day for around 8 to 10 hours. But because they are not earning much money, so they are not providing these facilities. And that is the reason the good skilled workers are going away from the small scale industries. And last is talking about your supporting ecosystem. Ecosystem is nowadays we are looking for like incubation centers are there. Incubation means you are trying to adding yourself, you're trying to growing yourself with the new technology, with what is going on in the world. With this help, the industries are working it out. Infrastructure, obvious thing. Government is providing infrastructures. And if I take the example of particular my location itself, a lot of money has been come out from the government to giving the better infrastructure than to be in the previous days. And that is the reason what my first statement was talking about the contribution in GDP 30%. And this is the reason probably we are adding to your GDP to H. So thank you very much, Sarita ma'am, and all other dignitaries, those are sitting in front of me. And I really pleased to be here with you. And whenever you give the opportunity, I'll definitely come and discuss to you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. As I told everyone that experience speaks itself. So, sir, you have covered each and everything with fact and figures. Now, I request our mentor, Professor Dr. Esther, to take the gesture. Sir,
Yes.
a gesture photograph we want from class.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you very much. So now we have Shraddha Sengar ma'am. Professor Shraddha Sengar, she is from GSP, and she is young, dynamic, and very much for sustainability. I welcome you, ma'am, here. And ma'am is going to give presentation on our goals. Shraddha, ma'am, am I audible to you? Are you here?
Yes,
Welcome
yes,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am. Welcome on the
Thank you.
Global
Thank you so
Summit.
much, Dr. Sarita Rana, ma'am, all the dignitaries. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I'm sharing my PPT with you all. I request host to give me the access, please.
Supriya, ma'am.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm done. Yes.
Yes, ma'am, I'm giving right. Yes. Ma'am, could you please repeat the name? Shraddha Sengar. Okay.
Shraddha Sengar. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Good start.
Yes, ma'am.
Shraddha, ma'am, are you able to share your screen? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Give me a second. Ma'am, is it visible to all?
No, no.
No, ma'am, it is not visible.
You need to share screen.
Yes, ma'am, are you able to do that? Shraddha, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, I get it. I get it. Actually, I don't know. The file is not supporting.
Maybe you.
Ma'am, Sarita ma'am, you can call Dr. Payal Jain
Okay.
and
Payal,
after
ma'am,
her,
are you here? Yes, Payal, ma'am. Payal Jain, ma'am.
Yeah.
Dr. Payal
Yeah.
Jain.
Yeah,
We
ma'am,
are
I'm
here
here.
with us, Dr. Payal Jain. Payal, ma'am is here.
Yeah,
Payal,
ma'am,
ma'am,
I'm
am I
here.
audible? Yeah. So Payal, ma'am is also a good professor. She is from GSP again, and she is very good in this sustainability development. She used to take the conferences. She used to take the call for the same. And Dr. Payal, ma'am, we welcome you here.
Thank you so much,
On
ma'am.
this global platform. You could share your PPT. You could give your
Ma'am, am I
presentation.
audible to you?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Thank you so much for welcoming me. And first of all, namaste. Okay. Now I'm going to start my presentation here. Ma'am, is it visible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Now it is visible. Okay.
Okay, fine. Good afternoon, all. First of all, I would like to give thanks to the organizing team, especially Sarita ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. I would like to start my presentation just because I don't want to take much time. My topic for the same is closing the gap, addressing income inequality for sustainable development. Today, we are here to discuss the 10th goal of SDG, that is reducing inequality. The goal and its target recognize the pressing needs of addressing various forms of inequality within and amongst the country, including income disparity, social exclusion, and lack of access of essential services, discrimination based on the components such as age, gender, disability, race, ethnicity, and economic status. Inequality is a wider concept, and it is difficult to cover all the aspects of inequality in 10 to 15 minutes presentation. That's why I'm going to cover only income inequality in India. In the agenda of United States Development Program has set 17 development goals to address various global challenges, notably SDG 10 emphasizing reducing inequality within and amongst the country, emphasizing the need of the inclusivity with the relying call, no one left behind. Although tackling inequality is widespread, it remains a priority for all the connected nations committed to achieve the sustainable development goal. Target 10, Goal 10 and Target 1 present to the international community task, that is to ensure that the income growth of the bottom 40% of their population is higher than the national average by year 2030. Before moving ahead, we must understand what is equality and what is inequality. Now let us understand what equality is. Equality is about making sure that every person has the same chance to make of their lives and talents. Equality is not only giving equal opportunity, it is to ensure equal outcomes. Now, what is inequality? Inequality is characterized by existence of unequal opportunities and rewards for different social positions and status within a group or a society or a country. It contains structured and recurring patterns of unequal distribution of goods, wealth, opportunity, rewards, and punishments. There are different types of inequality: gender-based, wealth-based, income-based, opportunity-based, and physical environment. Here we are discussing only income inequality. Now let us understand what is income inequality is. Income inequality refers to the uneven distribution of income amongst individuals in the society. Income inequality between countries has improved. That means differences between developed and developing countries has been reduced. Yet income inequality within the countries has become worse. Today, 71% of the world population live in countries where inequality has grown. We can see this, that most of the population cover only like a percentage of income, and the low population cover higher income in their hand. Since 1990, income inequality has increased in the most developed countries and in some middle income countries, including China and India. It is especially important because inequality within countries are inequalities people feel day to day, month to month, year to year. This is how people stake up and compare themselves with their families, neighbors, members of society and countries. Now let us understand some statistics or discuss some statistics of income inequality in India. As we can see in the chart, the figure compares India's top 1% income shares with a handful of countries that include some of the most unequal ones. In 2023, India's top 1% income was not in the highest amongst these countries, but amongst the very highest anywhere in the world. Let's see some more statistics. As we can see, in 1952, the top 10% of the population shared in the national income was 37%. But in the present time, it is approximate 60% of the national income. And it is actually a stressful condition. And in 1952, the bottom 50% of the population shared only 21% in present. The situation is stressful because it is only 15% now. At middle, 40% of the population share only 27% of the national income. This is a very clear picture of inequality in India. especially income inequality in India. Now let us discuss some causes of income equality in India. There are a number of reasons behind this, but we will discuss some points. Income inequality in India happens because of many problems in how the economy is planned and developed. The planning does not help all the states and industries equally, leaving some behind and making the gap between rich and poorer are bigger. Unlike China, India hasn't been able to make industries grow and create enough jobs. Most jobs are in the service sectors, but this hasn't made enough jobs for everyone. Also, the service sector is mostly in the rich states, making the gap between rich and poor area bigger. The government isn't spend as much money on the policy and public things like schools, hospitals, healthcare, etc. Some areas have more jobs than other, making some places poorer. Even though things like the Green Revolution were meant to help everyone, they didn't. Some places got more benefited than others, making the gap between rich and poor bigger. There are also problems with the job and wages, education, and starting businesses. The government is trying to fix this problem with the programs, but still, it's a big challenge. Now, let us understand government initiatives. Reducing inequality is the higher on the agenda of the Government of India. Several initiatives and programs have been taken up by the Government of India to eliminate poverty, inequality, and to empower the marginalized section of the society by expanding the social security net through Pradhan Mantri Swarojgar Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Bima Yojana, Atal Pension Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Yojana, and institutional supports for entrepreneurship with the help of Mudra Bank to provide microfinance to an entrepreneur in rural areas. And a national hub for SC/ST entrepreneurs has been created to support the entrepreneur belonging to the marginalized community. One significant aspect of this effort is control monopolistic and trade practices. Through legislation passed in 1969, the government seeks to prevent large companies from exerting control over the economy. This measure not only protects the interest of small businesses, but also ensure a fair distribution of power within the country. In addition of regulations economy, the government has put in place social security measures to support workers, particularly in the large companies. These regulations include provisions for the compensations workers injured on the job and offer benefits for the pregnant women and their families. They offer maternity leave for them. Comprehensive programs such as providing medical benefits are also available to the workers, emphasizing the government's commitments to ensuring the well-being of its citizens. Furthermore, the government has implemented initiatives like Minimum Needs Program, initiated in 1960s, which aims to ensure that all individuals have access to the basic necessities such as education, food, healthcare, etc. By focusing on improving living standard, this program played a vital role in addressing income disparities and enhancing the quality of living for citizens. Recognizing the prevalence of poverty in the rural area, the government has tailored specific programs to uplifting the rural poor. These initiatives focus on the job creation and improving living conditions in the villages, thereby directly addressing income inequality in the rural communities. Taxation policies also play a crucial role in reducing income inequality by implementing progressive tax systems that require the wealthy of the contribution more. The government aimed to redirect redistribution of wealth and promote economic fairness across different income brackets. Moreover, fiscal policy dictated how the government allowed allocate these funds with suggestions to prioritize spending on the program that benefit the poor. This approach advocates for increased investment in the social welfare programs and infrastructure projects to support marginalized communities. Rising the minimum wages is another strategy employed to tackle income inequality. Research indicates that increasing the minimum wages can significantly lift individuals out of poverty without adversely affect the economic growth. Lastly, ensuring access to equal education and healthcare is a fundamental to leaving the playing fields for all the citizens, particularly those from a disadvantaged background. Government initiatives focus on the providing equitable access to education, healthcare services, thereby empowering individuals to overcome barriers of the social economic mobilities. In Indian government's comprehensive approaches to reducing inequality and comprise a range of programs and policies aimed at fostering economic fairness and providing opportunity for all the citizens to lead fulfill living. At last, I would like to conclude this. Income inequality has been a topic of discussion in the economic world for a long time. It is widely known that the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. The future of income inequality is uncertain, but projections and forecast suggestions that is likely to be continue to increase. However, policies aimed at reducing inequality could help to mitigate these trends and leads to stronger economic growth. It is important to consider the different perspectives of this issue and the potential effects of the society as a whole. Addressing income inequality is not just a moral imperative, but an economic necessity. By implementing policies and initiatives that promote fairness and equality, we are creating a society that benefits everyone. The time to act is now, and consequences of inaction could be there. Now, I would like to give my thanks once again for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much,
ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So you covered very beautifully all the goals.
Thank you.
Supriya ma'am,
Yes.
Issa ma'am, are you here? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
so,
here.
Hi ma'am, we want to capture one gesture of yours.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Sharing the screen, please.
Payal ma'am, please stop sharing screen.
Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, yes. Stop sharing the screen, please.
Yeah.
Payal ma'am, you have to go to the...
Yes, okay, we got you.
Okay.
Just make this gesture. Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me...
Payal ma'am, you have to say that namaste gesture. You have to...
Yeah.
Now it is clear?
Yeah, it's clear, but can you please look to the front straight? You can take a nice shot of your face. Beautiful.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Dr. Pal.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
Shraddha ma'am, are you here? Shraddha ma'am? So, Shraddha ma'am is arranging all the network issues.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
are going to...
Sorry. Sarita ma'am, am I audible?
Yes.
Ma'am, let me just share my screen first. If it is sharing, then I can proceed, and if it is not, then I can arrange alternatives to it, and he can give
Will
opportunity
you do
to
that?
someone else.
Otherwise, send me your
Yeah, ma'am.
PPT.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will take care of that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you just try once. Otherwise, on the other hand, I will take it.
Yeah. But
are you able to share?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Your camera on, please. Yes. Great. Yeah, she's able now.
Fine.
Great.
One minute. Where is it gone? Yeah.
Shraddha ma'am, it's showing. Screen is
yeah,
showing.
ma'am. Okay. I'm just turned my camera on.
again that there is no screen. You do one thing, you send me your PPT and I will present by myself. Okay? On my end, I will take care of that. Yeah. Till then, we are going to call our dearest Dr. Rajeshwari Gwal ma'am. She has more than 30 years experience in the field of academics, and she is HR faculty. Here she is MBA HOD in HR. Rajeshwari Gwal ma'am, are you here? I want to. Rajeshwari Gwal ma'am.
Ma'am, she is here. Ma'am, she is here. Rajeshwari ma'am, you have to open your camera.
Rajeshwari ma'am, Gwal ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. No.
So Rajeshwari ma'am, a most experienced faculty we
Ma'am,
have.
please once check ma'am your mic also. Rajeshwari ma'am, please check your mic also.
Yes, I have unmuted my mic. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Can I start?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Sarita.
Sure.
Wishes for the day to one and all present here. A big thanks to the organizers and the coordinators for providing this opportunity to speak on the topic, ensure equal opportunities and end discrimination. Now, discrimination strikes at the very heart of being human. It is harmful and perpetuates inequality. We all have the right to be treated equally, regardless of our race, nationality, caste, religion, gender, age, or other status. Discrimination occurs when a person is unable to enjoy his or her human and legal rights on an equal basis with others because of an unjustified distinction made in policy or law or any other treatment. Now, to begin with my topic, I would like to quote few examples. I suppose I can do that. Yes, ma'am?
I know. Are you sharing the screen?
No, I'm giving a speech, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to quote a girl named Samiksha Koirala from Nepal, who got her first periods at the age of 11. Not only she was banished from home for 5 days, but she was also forbidden from touching male members of her family for 11 days and was not allowed to enter the kitchen for 19 days. The stigma around menstruation goes far beyond euphemisms like that time of the month, crimson wave, aunt flow, etc., etc., etc. My question is, how much fair is this for the young girl? Discrimination is also seen at workplace. Jobs with higher occupational prestige or status are paid more. Women with same skills and qualifications are either denied such positions or their average incomes are lower than men. Well, Sudha Murthy, we all know her, wife of Narayan Murthy, Infosys owner, applied for the position at Tesla. She noticed the footnote prohibited female candidates. She wrote a letter to J.R.D. Tata sir about the gender bias issue, and the things were resolved. She was then permitted for the interview and she joined Tesla as a development engineer. But still, we can find discrimination existing at workplace. Talking about the minority group and marginalization, we all know that the society comprises of two groups. One is the dominant group and the other is the marginalized group. Dominant group holds more power and enjoys greatest privilege and higher social status, whereas marginalized groups are confined to an unimportant or powerless position within a society. Now, in certain countries, minority women have lower life expectancy due to things like environmental pollution, because they are more likely to live in areas closer to factories, they work and stay near farms, etc. Statistically being, they are more likely to work in more dangerous jobs, have lower access to healthy food and adequate healthcare, and due to various life stresses from overt and microaggressions against them due to their race, suffer from lower life expediencies. That is, they face unsuitability, which are very common for the dominant group. So it is essential to ensure that the benefits of development are shared equitably across all sections or all segments of society. But let me also add that the gender equality movement had a lot of success. Countries have now started third gender on their census. Third gender washrooms are now available in many university campuses around the US. In India, companies like Tata Steel, RJ Corp, Publicis Sapient in Pune have started hiring the third gender. Tata Steel till date have hired 120 transgender. These companies have incorporated changes in their recruitment and selection policy. Publicis Sapient has come up with programs like Rainbow Internship for the placements of LGBTQ community. Vedanta Group, PepsiCo have also started such initiatives. So, ensuring equal opportunities and ending discrimination is fundamental for fostering a fair and just society. So, what should be done? So, here are a few measures that I would like to discuss. Number one is implementing and enforcing comprehensive legal framework, that is anti-discrimination laws covering various aspects like ethnicity, race, gender, religion, disability, socioeconomic status, etc., etc., etc. It is a must. Organizations must promote awareness and educational programs to let people know about various forms of discrimination and their impacts. This will help combat stereotypes, prejudices, and biases. Workplace must adopt policies that promote diversity and inclusion, that is fair hiring practices, equal pay for equal work, harassment-free environment, and breaking the glass ceiling. Essential services such as education, healthcare, housing, transportation must be accessible to one and all. Certain social programs must be developed for marginalized groups to provide them with resources and support to overcome systemic or universal barriers. Then promoting inclusive leadership, as it not only reflects the diversity of communities, but also helps to challenge discriminatory practices and promote inclusive decision-making processes. Then fostering inclusivity, respect and empathy to address issues of discrimination. Collaborating and partnering between different stakeholders must be promoted to develop inclusive solutions and promote social cohesion. And lastly, mechanisms to monitor progress in addressing discrimination must be established. Now here, disparities can be identified and impact of interventions done can be measured. Identifying areas of improving and ensuring accountability will certainly help. Now, by prioritizing these actions and working collaboratively across sectors, we can make significant strides towards ensuring equal opportunities and ending discrimination for all individuals, creating a more inclusive and equitable society for future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. So everything is just like so practical. So like all picture is clear, I hope. Ma'am, one gesture we want to
Yes,
take.
sure.
Yeah. Yes, is the ma'am.
Yes.
Is this okay?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Let me.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
Dr.
you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot,
Thank you,
Rajeshwari, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
So,
Thank you.
dear friends, we have a very young, dynamic research scholar, Ayushi Yadav from IMS DABB Indore. She is striving hard for sustainability, and her topic for the same on reduce income equality. She want to express her thoughts on the same, as we know our youngers to be more involved in this sustainability development. So, Ayushi Yadav, hearty welcome you on this Global Summit platform. Please, Ayushi.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be here. And today I want you to address a very critical and a pervasive issue that hampers our collective journey towards a more equitable, peaceful, and a sustainable future. That is income inequality. We all know what is income inequality by the definition, I guess, right? So, income inequality is the unequal distribution of income and opportunity between different groups in society. So, like we have all noticed, like how some folks have a lot of money and some hardly have any money. So that's what we call as income inequality. It's like when two friends are having fun together, they are sharing cookies together. One will be having a whole bunch of the cookies, while the other will be having just a tiny piece of it, right? So it doesn't feel very fair. So income inequality is a multifaceted challenge that fuels poverty, hinders economic growth, exacerbates social tensions, and undermines the very fabric of our society. Income inequality is a barrier to sustainable development and a threat to the global peace as well. So, when the gap between rich and poor gets too big, it can make people upset as well as angry. And this will ultimately lead to the violence. They feel like no matter how hard they are trying, they cannot catch up with the rich ones. They cannot catch up with the higher class of the society. And this will ultimately will lead to the protest as well as violence, which is not good for anywhere. This by this way we cannot achieve. Also, when only a few people have most of the money, it will be also bad for the economy as well, because the law of demand and supply will not be working like this. If most people don't have much to spend, businesses can't grow. On the other hand, if more people will be having money, that means they will be able to spend more, right? So it's a good for everyone because it will ultimately help businesses to grow more, and it will ultimately create more jobs in our country. So to address income inequality, we must adopt a multifaceted approach. And this will include some of the things which I'll be pointing out forward. That first will be reforming the tax systems to ensure that they are progressive enough and fair to the society, not only to the rich ones, but also for the poor ones as well. Investing in quality education, which is the vital for our society, because it will level up the playing field and ensure proper access for education to all. Third one will be ensuring access to affordable healthcare to prevent medical bankruptcy. Because we all know if someone in our family gets sick, what will be the medical bill? And ultimately, if we'll be dealing with that kind of a healthcare facilities, we cannot again reach to the economic level. Third one, implementing living wage policies and supporting the right of workers to organize. It will ensure that prosperity is shared more broadly across the society. The pursuit of gender equality is also integral to reducing income inequality. By eliminating the gender pay gap, gender pay gap is again one of the major reasons for the inequality, especially in women, and removing barriers to women's participation in workforce. We can unleash the tremendous source of economic dynamism and drive towards a more equitable society that we all want. As leaders, policymakers, activists, and citizens, we must come together to forge a new social contract, one that is built on the principle of fairness, justice, and inclusivity. We must embrace sustainable development that leaves no one behind, and we must ensure that our economic systems serve the many, not just the few. In conclusion, reducing income inequalities is not just a moral imperative, it is a practical necessity for achieving a global peace and sustainable development. By working together with determination and compassion, we can build a more just a peaceful and prosperous world for all. Thank you so much.
Very beautifully you have explained, Ayushi. I'm so proud of you that our young generation is going for sustainability anyway. So Ayushi, we want to capture your gesture. Yeah,
sure.
Ayushi.
Sure, ma'am.
Oh, yes. One more time, 1 minute.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 1 minute. The screen went off. I'll make you, I'll ping. Okay. 1 minute, yeah? Okay. Done.
Very nice, Ayushi. Thank you. Thanks a lot, beta. Okay. So now me and my friend is going to present one presentation we want to give. Me and my friend Dr. Shweta, ma'am, is here. we want to give one presentation. Ma'am, please able our screen. Supriya ma'am. Done? So we are going to presentation. It is sharing.
Yes.
Is it visible?
Yes, I'm visible.
Okay. So
Yes.
here, as we know, from morning onwards, we are talking about equal opportunities. We are talking about reduce inequalities. Although we are working on the same, but the problem is that we are not able to catch the pace. And I'm very thankful to give us that opportunity that at least we could share our views on the same. Thank you, Witty Gossip Group. Thanks a lot for providing such a beautiful platform to explain to express our views. Here, I want to explain about equal opportunity at work. As we have seen that we say that there are equal opportunities, but when we go for practical insight, there is no equal opportunity as such. I'm also talking about I am actually want to pressurize the gender inequality, which is not going to be low anywhere. I don't feel that in India only we are facing such a problem, but we are facing this problem everywhere in the world. I hope all are agree with me on the same topic. Although we have that the law of equal opportunity for employment that discourage employers to discriminate anyone on certain ground like gender or caste. But we are seeing very casually, we are saying generally everywhere that we are facing the same problem everywhere. Here, I want to explain that unequal opportunity, what I have felt, except that gender inequality, we are also facing the inequality on the terms of caste. If we are talking about unequal opportunities, then I want to let you know that in India, this scheduled caste or scheduled tribe communities in very few enterprises as compared to their share in population in urban and rural areas. And also we could see that a lot of people who are from this scheduled caste or scheduled tribes, they are facing a lot of problem to make their place in the world anywhere to get equal opportunity. We are also facing the same thing that there is a huge wage gap just because of their caste. It is there. In India, we are facing this problem. That's why always there is a lot of disputes about reservation. So every caste who have minority in India, they are going for that reservation concept. They are going for strikes. They are going for a lot of struggle. They are striving hard for the same. We have collected some data from various parts of our country or abroad to know that how much unequal we are, and we are saying only equal opportunity, but there is no kind of equal opportunity. We are facing a lot of problem. For that, we want to show one slide that see you could witness for the same. There are men and women. Men are in green and women are in orange. And how discriminate we feel. As Monica ma'am in the morning has told a lot of about gender inequality. And this data which we have collected from Statista, there is one site which work for the same. We could see that there is a lot of things that women are very much in domestic work, and the women who are also doing work for their culture, community, religion, and also their employment. There is a lot of differences in the pay also. We don't have a time to discuss this much in detail, but I want to focus all your attention on the same, that whether women are working more than men, then also there is a huge gap between men and women salary, or we can say package, I feel that not in India, but also on the world level, this inequality we face. And gender gap, yes, in India, we're also having a huge unemployment rate. You can see here that male has 2.9 and women has unemployment rate 14.1%. Average male and female rate we can also see here. We also have collected this data from a one reliable site. So I want to focus my all this presentation that we have to do something for that, something to bridge up that gap. And for further conversation, for further presentation, I would like to call my dearest friend, Dr. Shweta Chaudhary, who is working in Acropolis, and she will share remaining slides with you people. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Agreeing with Dr. Rana, I would like to say that yes, it is because of the inequality, the gender biasness, the women are demotivated. And when I talk about differences, so it is not only related to stress, but now a new term is being coined up that is known as job burnout. It is something which exceeds job stress. It leads to lack of motivation, lack of pleasure in the job, as well as the segment, that group starts losing their confidence about their compatibility, about their caliber to complete the task. It means they have the sense of inefficacy. There are researches which shows that this job burnout is more in women. Why? Of course, because of differences in the opportunities. And during this pandemic, it was observed that this gap was doubled. Now, what is equal opportunity and why it is there? Why there is requirement for equal opportunity? And in not only terms of gender, we should also allow different races, different ethnicity also to contribute for the growth of the business, of the society. It is because it will help in the mutual development, in everybody's well-being. It is because of the diversity only we can bring the best output. We can give the best results. We can have new ideas, new perspectives, and we can definitely make the society a better place. The minority group should also get the opportunity to contribute, to bring certain creative ideas, so that definitely we never know that what good they can contribute. So we should allow them. With this type of thing, we are going to uplift the goodwill of the business also. It will encourage the diverse group to come and join the business. And that's how nowadays it is being well discussed, that diversity, how it is more important for the organization. So by way of diversity, we can actually promote the company and can have better results. Definitely, nowadays sustainability is a very important topic, and we can definitely assure sustainability also by way of bringing job equal opportunities. The companies can align their values. They can have upliftment of the reputation. They can attract the customers. They can enhance their goodwills. They can promote the EEO, that is equal employment opportunities, and they can outperform the competitors. They can get extra advantage. There are so many examples in the industry who are actually now going for sustainability by way of maintaining a proper balance. For example, I would like to take the example of Accenture, which is a global consulting firm. They are trying to focus on this unconscious bias training. They are bringing gender neutral job descriptions, and they are recruiting by making efforts to have diverse communities. Then the next example that can be taken with, definitely everyone is familiar with this company, that is IBM. It is also very much
involved, focused in diversity training. It is having unconscious bias education. It is having so many mentoring programs so that they can encourage the diverse workforce. So my dear friends, I would like to end up with this, and definitely I would like to say that in support of all the statistics that has been provided, these are the references which have backed our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Shweta ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
We are having our gesture here. So we both have to give the gesture, or separately we have to give?
Separately. Yours I've taken already.
Okay, separately.
Taken. You want one more? Okay. Done. For your friend? Yes. Done. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to call Tanisha Dalal, ma'am. Tanisha Dalal, ma'am, I would like to request you to present your slides over here. Shraddha, ma'am, are you ready after that?
Yes, ma'am. I'm ready.
Okay, fine. Tanisha, ma'am, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Tanisha Dalal, ma'am, yes. So, young, as I told you, young dynamic, we have a lot who are working or striving for that sustainable development. And in that queue, I would like to call our dearest Tanisha Dalal, ma'am, to throw light on the same. Ma'am, please.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Oh, thank you so much, ma'am. Just a second. So, we may have different religions, different languages, different colored skin, but we all belong to one human race. A hearty good afternoon to everyone present over here. I would like to thank the managing committee for giving me this opportunity to present my views on the topic, ensure equal opportunities and end discrimination. So first, let's see what's discrimination. Discrimination has often been defined as the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people, especially on the grounds of ethnicity, age, sex, or disability. Thinking about it, we experience discrimination every day in our lives without even realizing it. The types of discrimination that I've covered are various. Some of them can be age, caste, disability, language, name, nationality, ethnicity, region, religion, sex and gender, sexual orientation, and even reverse discrimination. Some of these are very prevalent in our society nowadays, and we should find a way to combat them, which we'll be covering in the later slides. Now, let us look at what is equality. Equality is defined by the preamble of the Indian Constitution as one of the four basic objectives of Indian polity, the other three being justice, liberty, and fraternity. Equality recognizes each person has varying circumstances and needs, and therefore different groups of people need resources and opportunities to allocate themselves accordingly in order to thrive. Equality is giving everyone the exact same resources across the board, regardless of the actual needs or opportunities, resources already provided to them. Some of the barriers that we face to get equality are, the first one is the unconscious barrier. The unconscious barrier refers to the automatic association and reactions that arise when we encounter a person or group. It can be illustrated with the fact that the manager of a firm may prefer hiring an individual from his or her own social background or alma mater. The second is the lack of representation in the higher level positions. Specifically for India, the share of women in senior and technical roles has fallen. Only 8.9% of Indian companies have female top managers, and even smaller percentage, that is 1.8, boast of female majority owners. And the third is inaction. The lack of inaction against inequality is a major barrier ensuring equal opportunities. So some ways that we can remove inequality and ensure removal of discrimination are: number one, Identify the issue. We need to start thinking about and identifying the issues that are affecting the equality in our community. What is wrong? What needs to be changed? What human rights are involved? Any rights are being denied? We can use this for our reference as an example. Like people living in the slums do not have access to clean water. Some methods by which you can identify the factors that are affecting your society are by watching the news, following cases on social media, reading newspapers and magazines, speaking to members of your community, and engaging with the Human Rights Association. Step 2 is choosing allies in your own community. After you have identified the issues you want to address, think of what you can help you to achieve your goal in the community. These are some of the people who have the power at local and community levels. Step 3, take your action. Brainstorm actions that you can take to promote equality and non-discrimination in your community. Some of the examples of action that you can take are join community meetings, teach adults and children, organize an event, support your neighborhood, and create a community newsletter. And the most important step is discuss. By discussing these problems, we can find a way to remove these problems. The next slide we look at is the laws in India, which are increasing equality and reducing discrimination. In the labor laws, Article 14 and 16, they explicitly state that India states that is imperative in every individual to be protected against disqualification or discrimination in state employment or public office on the grounds of the gender, caste, or place of birth. Indian Penal Code of 1860, Section 153A, criminalizes the use of language that promotes discrimination or violence against people on the basis of race, caste, sex, place of birth, religion, gender inequality, sexual orientation, or any other category. And according to the Article 14 of the Indian Constitution, the state shall not deny equality to any person before the law or the equal protection of laws within the territory of India, as well as Article 15 prohibits the state from discriminating any citizen on ground of any religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, or any of them. The UN, that is the United Nations, has also made documents addressing discrimination. And some of them are the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination, the Convention of the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination against Women, and the Convention of Rights of a Person with Disabilities. I would like to conclude with a poem. Small as a peanut, big as a giant, we're all the same when we turn off the light. Rich as a sultan, poor as a mite, we're all worth the same when we turn off the light. Red, black, or orange, yellow or white, we all look the same when we turn off the light. So maybe the way to make everything right is for the God to reach out and turn off the light. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanisha ma'am. Thanks a lot. Very beautiful poem. It's all on sustainability. Thank you, Tanisha ma'am. It's very
Thank you,
nice.
ma'am.
So just give us one gesture.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Tanisha
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having
So
me here.
now we have 𝐒𝐮𝐬 Mehta sir. He is from Dr. 𝐒𝐮𝐬 Mehta, who is from Acropolis. He is very well versed in finance. He is the faculty of finance, and he wants to throw some light on finance for the same on this SDG goal. So I would like to call him for speech. He's not going to present anything. Tanisha ma'am, would you please stop sharing the screen?
Ma'am, I've already done that. So
This is for? This is about?
is my screen still visible now?
Yeah, still it's visible, I think.
Ma'am,
𝐒𝐮𝐬
let
sir,
me...
are you here? 𝐒𝐮𝐬 sir?
One second, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is it off now?
Oh, you know. Supriya ma'am,
ma'am,
we could disable it by our end, no?
Sure, ma'am.
Supriya ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Thank you, Tanisha
Thank you,
ma'am. Thanks a
ma'am.
lot. Okay. So Umang sir, are you here? Shraddha ma'am, after that you
Yeah,
please
ma'am.
be ready because your presentation I'm going to share. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Shraddha ma'am. Umang sir.
Yeah, ma'am. So, good afternoon, one and all present here. And thank you for the organizers for giving the opportunity to share my opinions over sustainable finance. Discussing about sustainable finance, historically, the typical business behavior has been centered for profit business seeking. That is to capture as much as profit as possible while pushing as much as cost possible on the society and on the nature. If I would go on the numbers, then approximately 9% of the plastics made worldwide are only recycled. The reality is that all lives and livelihoods that are made on the planet are relying upon the humans to make, to buy, to sell the stuffs, and the rules and regulations of law to protect the contractual relationship of all the market participants. Investors today are demanding more transparency, accountability for the companies, but not less than that. Self-described ESG, it means environment, social, and governance are the pillars of sustainable finance. So, when we are discussing about sustainable finance, it involves making investment decisions that are considered not only based on the financial returns, but also covering the environmental aspects, social aspects, and governance factors also. That is also sometimes referred as ESG finance or green finance. The European Union is, after 2015 World Summit on the Environmental Stability, has comes with the taxonomy, which is going to be based on this ESG factors. And this taxonomy defines sustainable finance as a finance which supports economic growth while reducing pressure on the environment and taking into account the social and governance aspects. It gives several examples of environmental considerations, including climate protection, climate mitigation, adaptation, and conservation of biodiversity and the circular economy. One of the important aspects of sustainable finance is climate finance, which means that seeking support in mitigating and adoptions of actions that will address the change in the climate, which is supposed to be about 3 degrees higher by the end of this particular century, according to the United Nations framework. For this, only the government support will not work. The public and private sources of financings are also required to be here. Ambitious restorations targets have to be settled at the international level, plugging the massive finance gap, which will require the coordinated efforts between public and private sector from not only at the local level, but at the global level too. The dramatic consequences of climate change and environment degradation have brought need for more sustainable economy to the top of the agenda. Public sector can cover these financial needs, solutions can be provided and sought to bring into the private sector on boards. Green finance involves collecting finance, generating and addressing the environmental and climatic issues on the one hand, and improving the management of financial risk related to climate and environment on the other hand. So, sustainable finance is an evaluation of green finance, as it takes into consideration the ESG issues and risk with the aim of increasing long-term investments in sustainable economic activities of project. The ESG branded assets are on track to reach around $55 trillion by the end of 2025.
Nowadays, the people's proposition is changing. The increase in trillion-dollar investment firms with growing passive investment strategies cannot exit from the stocks. With this, the corporations, banks, international financial institutions, international organizations like United Nations, climate funds, national governments of the different countries, central banks and regulatory organizations of the nations, institutional investors, stock exchanges, all are supposed to make and align themselves to work for a green and sustainable investment. And under this, one of the forum, that is Luxembourg Green Exchange, has been established and attached to the Luxembourg Stock Exchange that operates as a dedicated platform for green, social, and sustainable securities. This is what from my side. Thank you very much.
So your gesture.
Thank you, Umang sir. Thanks a lot, sir. आपका gesture हमको लगेगा यार. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
So, Shraddha ma'am,